David Peters was victorious in event number 1 of the PokerGO Cup. Look at this boy, hoisting the trophy, collecting the cash and the points. But of course, we have a lot of questions left to be answered. 7 to be exact, as the PokerGO Cup continues right here on PokerGO.com. Welcome to Las Vegas for continued coverage of the 2024 PokerGO Cup. We are set for an epic final table that is stacked with talent. This is event number 2, a 10K no-limit hold'em event. Let's take you inside our wonderful studio. My name is Remco Rinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me as we look to have a blast again here on today's final table. Ali Najad and Jesse Sylvia are on the call on PokerGO.com, but we will be here to entertain you, to engage with you, and to maybe have some fun, crack some jokes, read your comments, all that good stuff. Here's a look at our final table lineup. It is a who's who of the high roller tournament scene. Some legends among us. The most notable here, Mike Watson, 5th on Canada's all-time money list, has a World Poker Tour title dating back to 2007. This guy has been around and is still crushing. He's our chip leader. Anthony who came very close to winning the overall PokerGO Cup last year, is 2nd in chips. Byron Kaverman is back from never really being gone. Dylan Weisman is back in the studio, which he basically made into his home. And Daniel Smiljkovic from Germany, winner of the PhD Championship for $500,000, is here to do some more damage. And then last but not least, Donnie, the early leader in the race for the 2024 Player of the Year race, David Coleman.
He's on top. He's the top dog. He's the crusher, man. He's probably going to win this one, too. We can all go home.
No, right there. Oh, I do.
Coleman has been on a epic hot streak, did super well at the PhD kickoff just a few weeks ago, and now he's back to collect some more points.
There. You go all in, and then
in the studio.
I mean, I would have wanted to do that. Yeah.
First hand action on Mike Watson. He's going to raise it up with ace-9 offsuit.
I'll leave it over there.
Smiljkovic makes the call. Ace-queen. And Coleman here in the big blind with ace-6 offsuit. Looking at the stack sizes, Coleman came into the day with only 10 big blinds. He is our short stack. If you're with us in the chat, please let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what your day is like. What are you enjoying? Are you having perhaps a hot beverage, maybe some lunch? Maybe it's dinner time. I'm having that post-lunch sort of sleepy feeling, Donnie. I need some hot poker action to kick me in the butt a little bit.
It's because it's hotter in here.
True.
So like it's like kind of like a sauna.
It's
now.
like a blanket.
Yeah, you know.
Producer Aiden bought us a space heater. It looks like it is from space, actually. And yeah, we are nice and cozy. We're comfortable. It's nice. Excited for some poker action here as we see Watson and Smiljkovic both check on this flop. Neither player with a pair. Smiljkovic must be feeling pretty comfortable here with ace-queen, Donnie. Nothing to indicate that Watson is very strong.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to necessarily, like, I'd say get too scared about. I mean, what do I know? On that hand, I'm probably most surprised to not see Smiljkovic having 3-bet pre-flop. I mean, he's like, comes out guns blazing and all these things, right? So, there's the champ from last night.
Race for the cup is still a long race, but today's winner is going to collect 240 points. So Peters is going to get kicked out of the driver's seat. But of course, he is now playing in event number 3, looking to collect some more points. Donnie, what did we miss out on last night? Of course, these guys played till about 1 a.m. to get down to the final table. Give us a rundown of who else finished in the money, or perhaps who just missed out.
Yeah, so top 13 players cashed in this one, 89 entries total. Jim Colopy was the first player to hit the payout desk, followed by Stanley Wang, Brian Luau, Dylan Lindy, Joris Ruiz, Alex Foxen, and Morton Klein. Morton Klein was the quote-unquote live stream bubble boy. Is that what we call it? Like, because it's not really final table, because he made the final table. So I guess we'll just say that the live stream bubble boy. Here comes Coleman. That's getting through.
Yeah, best case scenario here for Coleman, picking up the blinds and antes. No showdown for him with the 9-8 offsuit. Always a welcome sight.
Fun fact, Remco.
Let's go.
Not the fun fact that was written down on our piece of paper, but on the PokerGo podcast, I picked David Coleman to be this year's PGT Breakout Player of the Year.
Yes.
Last year, I picked Anthony Hu.
Wow.
They're next to each other.
And Anthony Hu had a really hot start to the year.
He did have a hot start, and he kept coming into the studio, and he said, I'm not going to let you down, Donnie. I'm not going to let you down, Donnie. Ultimately, I think he let me down because he didn't make the championship. So maybe it'll just be like kind of delayed success from him in terms of reaching that championship. It's all because Kerry spoiled the PokerGo Cup win.
Yeah,
if Anthony Hu would have won the PokerGo Cup, then it changes everything.
So he halted the momentum.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Russell, one of our moderators in the chat. Dana Craven also in the mix. Tampa, lazy Sunday. Hope it's nice and warm out there. It's starting to warm up in Vegas already. I think we're going to hit 60 today, and it's only January. Shout out global warming. Jen says, I'm sick in bed with COVID. Jen, get well soon, but thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Joseph is in Florida. It's hot there already. I feel like it's always hot in Florida. And then Robert says, hooray, it's Donnie and Remco. My guys. Robert, you're our guy. So
that's right, baby. Let's go.
Donnie, for those that have recently gotten into poker, and perhaps we have people watching who are watching for the first time, put into context the type of crusher that Byron Kaverman is, because I feel as though we haven't seen him on many live streams, at least in the last 2 years, or maybe even go back to sort of pre-COVID.
Yeah, I mean, long-time grinder, worked his way up to playing in some of the biggest high roller events in the world, but then had a kid, and maybe two, I forget exactly. So family life, kind of pulled him away from the long grind. It's a lot of traveling, it's a lot of playing. So that's why we haven't seen him more in recent years. But he won a WSOP bracelet a couple of years ago. Got his first there. He's had some success, as I mentioned, in some really big buy-in poker tournaments. So he's one of those guys. While today he might not be the biggest name, the most well-known face, but he's well within this community. He's very well versed with playing against these guys. He's very skillful. So, don't be surprised if he really shows out, starting with this final table here at the PokerGo Cup.
Kaverman here rakes in a pot. Stacks very close at the top of the counts right now. Watson, Kaverman, and Anthony Hu all sitting very comfortable.
Yeah, it'll be interesting here to start with the little ICM with Coleman being on the shorter side as he runs it. He ran in pretty late, like 12:15 or something like that. This thing.
Yeah, Coleman was not on time for today's final table, but perhaps that little rush of blood from running around has sort of gotten the nerves to settle a little bit, maybe take the edge off.
It's the traffic, man. That traffic outside is no joke.
Well, it's because of all the construction.
Yeah, but figure it out. I mean, it's not that complicated.
I agree.
I drove in front of the Bellagio Fountains. They closed half the side of the strip because they're doing the whole Super Bowl thing already.
Why are you even going that way?
Because I forgot that they were closed. They closed Trop.
Oh my god!
And then I couldn't get over because they switched the Harmon thing to the middle. I was a mess this morning. Okay, leave me alone.
See, I know exactly where I'm going, but I always use Google Maps to make sure that I am not running into something bad. Here it is. Kaverman raising it up with King 6 suited. Coleman finds a good spot with King Queen off, and he moves all in. Kaverman lets it go, and Coleman gets to chip up nicely here.
The acknowledgement, though.
All right, tournament dealers, high card for your own button, please. Tournament dealers, high card for your own button.
Is there a reason our clock isn't running?
I think we'll probably see some good spots here for Coleman to
Paul.
do what he just did
Why is
there,
our clock
3-bet
not
jam.
running?
It is.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Okay.
I would expect Watson, Kaverman, Anthony Hu, all those three bunched up kind of at the top, to open up quite a bit early on, depending on what the other players do at the table. Smiljkovic and Weisman, they're probably going to stay a little bit snug for now.
All right, 2 entries permitted. Players, remember we are off tomorrow, so this final table will be played on Monday.
got some more people in the chat. Nolan says freezing rain in NH. I'm going to go with North Hampshire, Donnie. New Hampshire.
Where in New Hampshire?
We got to know. That's where you're from.
That's right.
James Shaw says freezing in the UK. TQ Suited says, I'm also sick with COVID after attending the Australian Open tennis. Well, jealous of that. Love me some Aussie Open tennis. I had a chance to go there a couple of years in a row when I was covering the Aussie Millions. Must be one of my favorite events to go to. Sit in the shade somewhere, have a beverage, watch some tennis. Tennis, by the way, one of those sports. Way better in person. Super intense. We got Gareth in the house from Ireland. Joseph just getting back, just got through a cold front. I hope that's the weather, not the way you feel. Michael in the house, thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, it is Lior who says, smash that like button. Yes, just hit that like button to let the people know that you're enjoying the content. That way, word spreads on our broadcast. And it's very much appreciated as Watson and Smiljkovic once again go head to head. Watson bets 100K on the turn here, and Smiljkovic with trip aces raises it up to 260. Smiljkovic playing it slow. This was a limped pot. He called 40K on the flop, and now deciding to go for it, raising on the turn. Watson done it. Still has a flush draw, so might see him come along here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd be too surprised if he ultimately folded it, and he does. You know, it's one of those spots where, one, there's probably some realm where Smiljkovic is doing this with better flush draws, maybe. Then I have to worry about a heart possibly making a full house. Like, you know, it can get tricky.
It's a talented group we're dealing with today at the final table. Byron Kaverman has the largest score of all these players, but Dylan Weisman having the smallest score, and that score being $416,000 means that we are dealing with some real big-time killers at this final table. Donnie, it's interesting actually because sometimes when you have a stacked final table, you know, you're thinking of the names like Kuhn and Chidwick, but this final table is basically at that level, especially from a tournament perspective, but these names might not be the superstars. So there's sort of like a divide between the famous players and everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many good, extremely talented players these days, you know, that, I don't know, in a way, like every final table is quote-unquote stacked to some degree, you know, especially these ones that come out of the studio, because just the level of play of the average player that comes in to play a PokerGO Cup event, a US Poker Open event, etc., like, is just extremely high. So, you know, ultimately you're going to get extremely talented players that converge down to the final table. Who and Kaverman here going to battle. Who opened up with a raise, and Kaverman defended from the big blind. Check, check here on the flop. 7 of clubs on the turn brings a club flush draw for Kaverman. Kaverman could also take this opportunity to rep that sort of texture, having called out of the big blind. Looks like he's going to do just that. 150 is the bet. Who gives it up? And Kaverman is now up on top by 5K. Barely, but he's up there.
Kaverman, a avid soccer player, I might say. Fast guy. Might not seem like it from his calm demeanor, but this guy plays a mean game of soccer. He was the 2015 GPI Player of the Year. Connie, that is almost 10 years ago.
Seems like an eternity ago.
You played soccer with Byron Kaverman.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He's very, very good. We had a lot of battles out there.
How's your knee? Do you still play?
I think I'm done.
You retired?
Yeah, I always think about possibly trying to play again, and then I'm like, I'm just going to do something stupid.
Just borrow one of my bikes. Come with me.
I don't know if I want to ride bikes.
It's so fun. Especially
I don't know if I want to really do anything.
You're just over it?
I'm 40 now. Fuck it. You know, just whatever.
Just letting go of life?
Yeah, like, you know, the hell with it.
Leo says, gotta love seeing Sir Watts playing. Absolutely. Don't get a chance to see him all that often in the U.S., but he told me that him and his wife took a little vacation away from the Canadian winter, and he was happy to find out that the PokerGO Cup was going on as we look at Coleman's epic run at the PGT kickoff. 4 final tables, 2 wins. Stellar stuff. Nolan is from Keene. Or Keene.
Keene, New Hampshire.
Keene, New Hampshire.
Yeah, we used to play against Keene High School, but it was like it's a far drive across the state.
Oh.
But it's like just straight across.
Were they any good?
Middle.
You guys beat them.
I think we beat them. I honestly don't even remember.
Smiljkovic raising it up with king queen offsuit. Coleman in the small blind, still the short stack. Ace 4 off, going in the muck. Question from O in the chat. He says, hey guys, I'm in Vegas next week, coming from the UK. Is the PokerGO studio open to the public? Would be cool to see these guys in action. Yes, it is open to the public. Around noon each day, the studio opens. Usually you get to see the players trickle in. Get yourself a drink at the bar, hang out. We have the live stream on the big TVs starting around 1 o'clock. And yeah, I chatted with Daniel Negreanu for quite a bit before play started today. A lot of players. Jeremy Osmers was trickling in. Dylan Lindy, who cashed last night as well. It's always a very casual and jovial atmosphere. And it sometimes makes me wonder, Donnie, these guys have to sort of become friends through all the time they spend together. And then at the same time, they come to beat up on each other every single day.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, these guys are all... It's a competitive friendship, you know. Of course, they obviously want to beat each other. They want to win money. But, you know, it's like I guess you would see in a lot of sports leagues, you know. Football, basketball, whatever it is. You know, these guys are going to war. During the game afterwards, they're shaking hands and exchanging jerseys before they head out to the club, right? Like it's that sort of camaraderie within the high-stakes poker world. Daniel Smiljkovic, the 2023 PGT Championship winner. 500K score for him there. Topped Arden Cho, a Dream Seat recipient. Arden Cho finishing in second place. Quite the run from her. A lot of fun with her at the final table.
Okay. Yeah, about.
I feel as though the players are a bit more careful at the start of this final table because Coleman is pretty short. Who here going to raise it up with ace-9 offsuit?
Nope.
Nothing for Weisman, who he color coordinated with the backdrop, Donnie.
He did. Yeah, the players today, you know, Coleman's short, but not the shortest. You know, he's still a decent gap below the second shortest, which is Weisman. Also, longer structure today. 40-minute levels, a little bit more play overall.
We do have a lot more blinds in play, and if you want to know how to play those blinds, go to octopipoker.ai. It's your path to poker mastery. Join Octopi's growing community and explore together. Free for a limited time at octopipoker.ai. Donnie, explain again how that works.
So, Octopi Poker is building a collaborative poker learning platform. Okay, well, they're really trying to get the social connectiveness within their platform. And they have kind of three main things. They have Octopi Poker Studio, which is their latest GTO tools for, again, that collaborative poker study. Then they have Octopi Poker Base. Now, this is specifically very cool because PokerGO is tied into it. It is a searchable collection of publicly live streamed hands. Right now, they have some PGT stuff up in their database. Believe they have stuff from, all throughout the 2023 PokerGO Tour. So if you're somebody who wants to see, I don't know, how Daniel Negreanu played against Jeremy Osmus, you can put that in, you can search it, you can kind of study those hands. If you're Daniel Negreanu or Jeremy Osmus, you can go there as a tool. Say you get to the final table with that person. You're like, oh, I want to see how this person plays. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look through it. And then they're also building, soon to come, is the Octopi Poker Forum, which is a marketplace for coaching services, different training and content services. It's all going to kind of be offered there in one. So, but basically, a one-stop shop over at Octopi Poker.
Byron Kaverman here finds 2 black kings. He's going to raise it up and hope for some action here. Average stack right now, 45 big blinds.
And Kaverman's been relatively active here early on. Looks like Coleman might have a decision. Oh, okay. Queen Jack suited.
Coleman probably thinking to himself, I've been running pretty good. Maybe this is just my time. But of course, he's not me. He's a smart guy. He lets go of the Queen Jack suited. Such a nice hand, Donnie. So hard to let go of it.
Very nice hand. Very nice hand. And he did 3-bet jam recently with the King Queen off. And Kaverman, had opened, so he quickly folded. So maybe some thought there that Kaverman is opening a little bit wider at times. Of course, he does have a premium with 2 kings here, so he would have been snapped off.
Watson, Donnie, is this defendable? Queen 10 of spades. These guys are deep, over 60 big blinds.
Well, one of the problems for Watson here would be that he's in the small blind. I mean, yeah, you can defend, but maybe want to come with a 3-bet just because, if you call here, you're then inviting Smiljkovic in from the big blind. You've got to play out of position to 2 players. Watson does come with the 3-bet.
Aggressive approach here from Watson. If you're Kaverman here, Donnie, you're in position. Obviously, you got an absolute monster of a hand. Is there a merit for both, or for either 4-betting or calling, or are you leaning very strongly into one direction?
I can see Kaverman coming with both. I think because these guys are so deep, there's going to be a lot of playability post-flop. If you want to put yourself in a little bit more of a tricky spot post-flop, having to play different textures and whatnot, then if you don't, I mean, just 4-bet it, right?
675.
And there it is.
Fighting words from Byron Kaverman. Action now back on Watson. These guys, of course, go way back. They've been facing each other for well over a decade, and Watson knows what's up. He lets go of it.
Said, all right, man, I'm done with this one.
I mean, it's an easy trap to fall in, especially if you're not a player at this level. That you go for a move. In this case, Queen 10 suited. Go for the 3-bet, and you get 4-bet, and then you all of a sudden are like, oh, maybe I should just call. Maybe I should just see a flop, and that's where the trouble starts.
Yeah, that is where the trouble starts. Start flopping pairs, you start flopping straight and flush draws, putting more money into the pot.
Watson here upgrading himself from Queen 10 to aces, and now raising.
He had that on the last one.
I know, now raising on the button, hoping that Kaverman finds something worth playing. And judging by his posture, he might be holding on to something here, and it is ace 10 suited.
Kaverman going to come along with the call. I mean, these guys are so deep right now. They're first and second in chips. I think it's certainly fine for Kaverman to take kind of a conservative line here pre-flop. Not really make this pot too ballooned in a situation where Watson can certainly flat a lot of holdings in position and play post, which can make things tricky for Kaverman.
Watson checks behind on the flop. Turn is the jack of spades. Now all of a sudden, Kaverman picking up some serious equity here. Probably can expect to see him lead sometimes here.
Might lead here. Can also just check call. Does have that nut flush draw. That jack can be a card that, you know, connects with some holdings that Watson has, so maybe you do just want to go into check call mode. Watson checking again in position, and the spade comes in. That's why you don't slow play aces, Mike.
Oh my God, disaster strikes for Mike Watson as Kaverman hits a flush. No chips invested post-flop, and Kaverman obviously has got to go for value here.
And now it's going to be a sizing question. I could see him going in overbet, you know. We often see that at times. He can come, you know, 75% pot. It's going to come a little bit under, 150.
Kaverman has no idea how strong Watson's hand is. And Watson, exactly vice versa, has no idea what he just stumbled into. Just makes the call, though, saving himself a bunch of chips. Wow. Watson probably thinking, I didn't play this well, but also thinking, I saved myself a ton of chips.
Mine's up now? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he might just win it if he bets the flop, you know. I mean, Kaverman probably calls a lot on the flop, too. Having the ace high and backdoor spades, of course, but...
Out of the box.
Okay.
If you're just tuning in, this is the second event of the PokerGO Cup. It's a final table. We're going to be streaming on YouTube until we get a winner in this event today. You're tuning in at the right time. You have not missed an elimination yet. You haven't even missed an all-in yet, as far as an all-in showdown, of course. David Coleman has been all-in, no callers. He is our short stack with 12 big blinds. These guys are playing for a first prize of $240K and also a ton of points in the race for the Cup, as well as the overall PGT standings. Daniel Smiljkovic here on the button, A7 offsuit. He is our reigning PGT championship winner. Took home $500,000 for that win.
Smiljkovic just comes with the straight up 3x here.
Yeah, old school.
Coleman probably would have liked to have defended out of the big blind, even though he is short, you know, with 10, 11 big blinds in his stack. But because Smiljkovic did come with a larger sizing, that 3x, Coleman thought better of it and just opted to fold the jack 9 off. Smiljkovic with his patented smile. Gotta love the guy.
Yeah, Smiljkovic really became a fan favorite during our PGT. Was it? I always forget. Kickoff or last chance? It was the last chance, right? The last chance series.
Yeah,
yes.
last chance.
Just before the championship. Yeah, he became a fan favorite with his aggressive play, and once again, putting it on display again today. Here it is, back-to-back raises, this time with fives.
Other one worth thinking about here for Coleman, this time in the small blind, King 9 of diamonds. Tosses in one-time extension card.
Coleman continues to receive cards that are sort of on the fringe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why he's been taking his time with these, making sure he's, you know, running through all the different scenarios and whatnot. Does elect to give that one up. Anthony, who's going to come along from the big blind with the 9-5 of hearts?
And now Coleman thinking, that would have been a nice flop for me with my diamonds. Smiljkovic betting 75K, and who has seen enough? He tosses him into the muck, and back-to-back hands for the German living in Austria. The buy-in for this event, $10,000. That's going to be on the menu for the next few days, and then we're going to go up to 15K on January 31st. Stacked field yet again in event number 3. Already saw Negreanu, Kristen Foxton, Lucky Chewy, Brock Wilson is in the house. We got Seidel, of course, one of the all-time legends. Chidwick, David Peters, Osmus. Everyone is once again playing here at the studio.
$1.270.
Thank you.
No, 1.170. It was with 2 and that. Yeah.
A battle of diamonds here potentially, as Anthony Hu limps in with 8-4, and Weisman finds ace-10. Get in the game yourself with PokerGO Play right now. Go to PokerGoPlay.com and start playing immediately. Donnie, you've been known to get into these streets.
I have. You know, I'm trying to go after those $10,000 in sweepstakes prizing that's available. I mean, so if people are sitting on the sidelines, I don't really know what they're doing.
Someone has to win it. Someone has to go after it. Check it out, PokerGoPlay.com. Smiljkovic making it 100K. Gave him with ace-8 offsuit. Lets it go. Stays disciplined. So far, lots of raise and take. Donnie, the slower structure immediately noticeable here as we're seeing a whole different brand of poker.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're going to be here for a bit today. That's for sure.
Smiljkovic again taking one without showdown, and the aggressive German, as we have branded him, living up to the hype yet again, already winning 6 hands to start this final table. He's won 6 of 16, clearly in his element, picking up decent hands, but also just applying that pressure. Smiljkovic up 640K since the start of play. Not a chatty bunch like we had yesterday, Donnie. It is so funny to see how dynamics at these final tables change so much day to day.
Oh, yeah. How many words do you think these guys are going to say today?
11.
Like combine?
Combine 11 words. Not including poker terms.
Yeah, not like, how much chips do you have? 1.1 million. Like, that doesn't count. Like, actually, like, like David Coleman being like, man, the traffic today. Like, that stuff is crazy outside. Running in, blood pressure's, spiking a little bit. Like, now I got to play poker for 240K. Like,
right. It'd be really funny if Byron Kaverman just deadpan at some point goes, so, the weather, huh? How about that sunshine? Let us know in the chat if you're a fan of any player in particular at this final table. We had 89 players in this event. We're down to the final 6. Average stack 1.8 million. 36 big blind average. Donnie, a 36 big blind average does still mean that it is time to move. It is time to get something going.
Yeah, but it is, but it's also kind of deep for like a final table, right? So I think we already went through what half a level or so. We're gonna probably need another level and a half to 2 levels, something like that, before like the action really kicks up. Of course, there's always that thought that like you get to this stage of the tournament, you wrap up for the night from the night before, you bag up, you go home. Like, you don't want to then bust the first person. Like you don't want to be the first person out the door. Like obviously these guys are experienced, so they're willing to get over that hump a little bit more than others. But you still don't want to be the first guy out, right? You want to make it. You want to put yourself in the top 3. Give yourself a chance to win first place.
Watson with the button raised, king queen off. Smiljkovic calling on a small, inviting Byron Kaverman into the pot as well with queen 10. And he is going to pay the extra 50,000, and we're going to see a flop here 3-way. The 3 biggest stacks going. Excuse me, Anthony Hu now out chipping Mike Watson, but 3 stacks on the larger side, seeing King 7 deuce on the flop, exactly what Watson was hoping for after the recent misstep versus Kaverman, now with the chance to pick up some chips.
I wonder if there's any thought, kind of just in Watson's mind, like, can't slow play this one. Got to bet this one, okay?
Yeah.
Not going to let it happen what happened last time.
Yeah, he's done slow play.
Yeah.
Totally done.
And that quickly gets the job done there with that top pair. He's back up over 2 million now.
D. Warner says, Kaverman fan from the Alpha 8 days.
Yeah.
OG, old school. For those who want to listen to Ali Najad and Jesse Sylvia, they are on PokerGo.com. That's where the professionals are. If you want to hang out with us, we're more than happy to entertain you for the next few hours as we see this through, find out who wins this event and gets to the top of the leaderboard in the race for the cup. Deech says, why do I pay for PokerGo when this is free on YouTube? Well, there's a lot of things happening all at the same time. We're trying to grow the PGT. We're trying to expose poker to as many people as possible. And we're also trying to create high-level content for our subscribers, including exclusive content like High Stakes Poker, No Gamble, No Future, the World Series of Poker. We have tons of exclusive final tables that directly go to our PokerGo subscribers. And we're always working on new shows as well. We're always floating around ideas, and we're working on some really good stuff later in the year. So appreciate you subscribing, and please continue to do so. Oh, and also, we're doing a raffle again, Donnie, this year.
We will be. We have 2 that we're going to be doing. One, TBD, okay? So you guys heard me out there, TBD. The other one is...
The TBD one is really big, and,
yes.
I'm not going to spoil it here, but Donnie told me... Donnie texted me, he goes, they approved the thing. and I'm like, that's really exciting.
Yeah. So the other one that's currently running right now is if you're an annual subscriber to PokerGo, you are going to be automatically entered into monthly drawings starting March 1st. There's going to be 10 of them. So I think the last one will be November 1st. But every first of the month, March through November, we are going to draw one annual subscriber. That annual subscriber will win what we are calling Dream Passes to come out to Las Vegas, come here to the PokerGo studio on the eve of the PGT Championship $1 Million free roll. You will play in the Dream Seed Invitational with a chance to win your way into that $1 Million free roll. But let's get back to the action.
Smiljkovic with the raise. Coleman finds a hand to go with and moves all in for 395,000 chips. Smiljkovic with the snap call, and now we have almost 900,000 in the middle, and Coleman's tournament life on the line.
Good luck.
Coleman saying there that he's going to win. So if he's feeling confident.
So sincere.
Coleman looking for a king, maybe some diamonds, maybe some spades, and the ace on the flop just about does it for him. Coleman down to running cards.
Might be a GG run out.
Oh,
Jack 10 still an option here
classic
for
clubs.
King.
Coleman. Oh my God. Smiljkovic called it king. Well, it is an option.
That's king too. Let's go.
Smiljkovic
I know, like
fading two
ACR,
outs.
table is shaking. Boom!
You still have that on?
Huh? Yeah,
Is it on?
always fun.
River card, 6 of diamonds, and David Coleman eliminated in 6th place. Donnie, the 6th place, though, still gets him quite a few points
Thought of it.
to
I had the
add
other
to his
king, so
total
that would've been a
for
one-outer. That
the
would've been very
PGT
fair.
standings.
Yeah, he'll pick up
I mean, he hit that one
45
after showing up late in
PGT
the traffic.
leaderboard
Super
points,
story, like,
extend his lead
Yeah, for sure. All day.
up at
Yeah.
the top
all
of
day.
that PGT leaderboard. He came
I
in
loved when he rolled
with
it
the
and
lead,
apologized
of
to
course,
Paul, like,
this
he's late
season
for class.
because of his success back at the PGT kickoff. And now he'll pick up
He really did.
45
Did you
more
hear him?
points.
No,
He'll
he
jump
did.
up over
He's 'cause he's a
600.
nice human.
He's crushing.
He's crushing. Definitely is.
I mean, long way to go, of course, but he's certainly crushing.
When the next break is?
Yeah, it's in an hour and 4 minutes.
We are down to the final 5 here at the PokerGo Cup.
And just quickly going back to the annual subscriber thing, Remco. February 19th, season 12 of High Stakes Poker. That's exclusively on PokerGo. So if you're a high stakes poker fan like Remco and I, and so many of you are, you gotta watch it. Season 12 of that absolutely iconic show. February 19th. Let's go.
You have like 2.6, 2.7?
No more.
More?
Plus 3.
Great? Okay.
And you?
2.6. 2.5.
5.
Sorry.
Two poor
Yeah,
queens
2.5.
going at it here. Who versus Weisman? Forgot to
3.2.
mention that the
3.2.
remaining
3.2.
5 are guaranteed
I have these.
$62,300.
Yeah,
Next pay jump is going to be up to $80,000.
thanks.
Sure.
Anthony Hughes, 15th career cash at the PGT. Like we mentioned earlier, had a really hot start last year, winning an event at the PokerGo Cup. I think he made 3 final tables, was the leader in the race for the Cup, but ultimately was outlasted by Kerry Katz in the final event of the series. Yeah, Joseph said almost 11 words. Yeah, we had a little bit of chatter there as we saw David Coleman head to the rail. Of course, every time someone busts, the remaining players are going to be happy to receive that pay jump. So the atmosphere perhaps a little bit more relaxed as Anthony Hu here with pocket tens looks to come in for a raise. Action on Mike Watson in the big blind. Queen 7 off, and he's just going to make the call. Watson checks as Hu finds a nice flop, 4 pocket tens. No overcards against him. Players all very comfortable at this final table. Dylan Weisman, the short stack,
you got like
23 bigs.
2.7?
2.5,
2.5.
I believe. Yeah.
40-minute levels.
Yeah, I have like
ensures that these players
2.2.
aren't
2.2.
rushed or pressured into a lot of all-in shoving, which we see a bit more often in some other series. Personally, I'm a big fan of the all-in shoves. Bring it on.
We'll get some soon enough.
I think this is why I'm not a cash game guy, Donnie. Like, I'm not a cash game guy because I need there to be sort of like an end goal. There needs to be a journey to a win. And the cash just looks so sweet as always, but it just, you know, keeps on going. It's kind of like the waves crashing on the beach. It never stops. Kaverman gets 3-bet here by the shortest stack. This must look pretty strong.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks strong with Weisman starting, but I was also going to say that I wonder if it also looks weak because 23 big blinds to start the hand. Would Weisman just put in a lot of his range, right? I mean, maybe he does 3-bet, of course, with like the ultra premiums, the aces, the kings. But that's just such a narrow part of the range. Like, it's just so hard to get those hands.
I like how you said ultra premium.
Yeah, I mean, there's premium and then there's ultra premium, right?
Premium and ultra premium. Well, this final table is definitely premium. Mike Watson, Daniel Smiljkovic, Byron Kaverman, Anthony Hu, and Dylan Weisman still battling for the top prize of $240,000. And these guys are just going to try to get this over with and then hop into the next event because event number 3 already going on right now in the studio. Negreanu in the mix. Spoke to him today. He's having a good time, feels rested, and excited to get some poker action in.
What are pocket jacks? Premium.
Pocket Jack is a premium.
Yeah,
I think
they ain't ultra premium, that's for sure.
Well, Ace King offsuit is a premium. Ace King suited is an ultra premium.
Probably, yeah.
Dylan Weisman with a, what is it, an average raising hand? King, Queen? Definitely not a premium.
No.
755 more.
And Weisman is now the short stack, getting shorter after losing that pot when he 3-bet folded to Kaverman's 4-bet jam.
Retract, correct? Thank you.
He looks like a mad chemist. I think it's the glasses, right? And like combined with the beard, you know.
He did say that he
He's
stole
just cooking stuff up in the lab nonstop.
he stole these glasses from his fiance. They're not actually his.
Does that mean he's got to sleep on the couch or something? Like, is that how that works?
Maybe it's a trade-off. You know, he needs to finish at least in a certain position to be allowed back into the bedroom. Shout out, by the way, to his fiancée, Emily. Dylan Weisman, third on the PGT for now. A win today could really vault him up those ranks. He, of course, a World Series Poker bracelet winner back in 2021. Omaha specialist, doesn't enjoy the 2-card as much as the 4-card game. Also,
doesn't enjoy it, but I mean, we saw him at a kickoff final table. He won that event. Now he's at a final table here. I mean, maybe he needs to switch back.
I think he's just that good. Like he's just like his 4-card game is so good that he's found a way to also apply it in No Limit Hold'em. Also, by the way, Dylan Weisman has been around forever. He says he's been playing professional in some capacity since he was 16 years old. Yeah, he said he was a mid-stakes PLO player before Black Friday on Full Tilt and PokerStars. He even said until the lights got turned off.
I mean, that's forever.
That is a very.
No wonder he's so good.
Yep. Action on Anthony Hu in the big blind. Nine, 5, 4, 2 diamonds on this flop. Watson 7's still best, but not an ideal flop for him. Could be worse. Action goes check, check. Sort of predictable here, Donnie. Watson with 7s doesn't really want to make the spot any bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You know, could have seen him betting sometimes there as well. Good card here on the turn for Anthony Hu. Gives him that open-ended. Also gives him the spade flush draw. So.
$325.
Coming full pot here. Really going to put the pressure on Watson, you know, with this type of holding. Also, you know, some of the ace highs, maybe the king highs that are in Watson's range, just make it difficult for him to come along. And then, you know, of course, Hu, if Watson does elect to call, he's got the backup draws, right? You know. The dirtiest one, Remco, being the 7 of spades. If that comes in on the river, I mean,
7 of spades
could be some fun.
would be really, really fun. It's the king of clubs, however, and now the question is, Donnie, is this a scenario in which Hu can realistically continue bluffing, and what sort of sizing would you lean towards?
I think it might be a little hard to continue bluffing here. I mean, I don't know. I just sense that the king is going to connect a little bit more with Watson here. But I think Anthony Hu probably recognizes, well, he does check. You know, he turns over the queen through. I don't think he necessarily thought it was really winning. Kind of just a bad river card in a way for Anthony Hu there, where, you know, a lot of other cards he can probably bluff on. If it's an ace, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see a king. Not too worried about a queen, of course, because you have a queen in your hand. So.
Yeah, Mike Watson happy to check behind there. If you want to get in the mix, we are sending 10 annual subscribers to play in our PGT Championship Dream Seed Invitational on the eve of the 2024 PGT Championship. Sign up right now. Use promo code PGTDream24 to save $20 on your new annual plan. Of course, a new season of high stakes poker coming at you in February, but also we're already getting fired up again for the World Series of Poker, so you might as well get in there now.
Well,
start.
if you get in there now, if you get in there before March 1st, then you're going to be in every one of the 10 drawings.
Yep.
If you wait till March 26th, well, you missed the drawing, right? Couple of kings here. Second time we've seen Kaverman with 2 kings today.
No action here for Kaverman unless Weisman gets a little bit out of line here with Jack 3 off.
Thank you.
Here's a look at our tournament format presented by Mescla. 10K buy-in. I was going to say 100K, but we're not quite there yet. 40-minute levels, shot clock, 20 seconds pre, 30 seconds post, and then a max of 17 one-minute time extensions. You get a little bit of a refill, a top-up, if you will, for making the final 6. But if you're out, you're not going to get any new ones. So you got to be careful how you spend your time at this final table. Weisman, Queen 8 off in the small blind. Watson finding pocket tens in the big blind, 3-betting to 150K. Excuse me, raising, of course, after Weisman limped in. Weisman comes along with Queen 8. Deuce 5-5 rolls out on the flop. Of course, Watson is going to probably continue here a lot, Donnie.
Yeah, I think it's fine for him to continue here. I mean, but we have seen him check back some pretty good holdings. You know, the tens it's not aces. You know, there is some vulnerability there for him in those tens. So you know, you would expect a bet here. He does just that. 175. Half pot. Weisman did limp call pre-flop, but just really nothing there for him on the 5-5 deuce, so he's going to have to live to fight another day. Weisman sitting on 16 big blinds now. Very much at the bottom of the leaderboard, but, you know, not the shallowest stack ever in the world, and one double up puts him right back into the thick of things.
Kaverman again with the raise to 115 this time. Nine, 3, 6 rainbow on the flop. Smiljkovic called from the big blind, flopped top pair. Surprised to see Watson in the mix here with 10 deuce, or do we have a little bit of a graphics issue here, Donnie?
I feel like we have to. mean, unless he just,
Yep, there it
loves
is.
the old Doyle Brunson.
A little-
He's
a little-
just in there.
A little graphic bump here as Smiljkovic and Kaverman are heads up on the turn. Shout out to Texas Dolly. Third nine on the turn. I feel like that sentence should be in like an English class. Third nine on the turn.
Now this is something we've seen a lot over the past month or so from Smiljkovic. Coming on the turn with overbets. He's done it with bluffs. He's done it with value. He's kind of been all over with that. So very tricky, creative player to battle against.
Donnie Billy is asking, what place would Weisman be in if he were to win or get second as far as the PGT standings?
Well, let me look. 240 up top. Still be in second place.
Wow.
Or sorry, third place, behind Kristen Foxen.
That's they have such a big lead.
She's got 429.
That's amazing.
He's got 265. So, or no, sorry, he'd be. I'm an idiot. My fault. He'd be in second place. I can't add.
16, so I saw it's fine. I just have to.
I need another coffee to be quite honest with you.
Does this send you over the limit?
No, to even just get up to a limit. I do need another coffee. Yeah. Thank you, producer Aiden. I'm pulling my talent card. I don't ever pull the talent card, so I'm pulling. I'm not Ali Najad. Aiden hates me.
No, Aiden is like, I'll go.
He's gonna go outside his door and bash his head against the wall.
He's gonna enjoy going for a stroll.
I should have really pulled the talent card and sent him to Starbucks.
Oh, I know.
Can you walk into the casino, up the escalator, down the hall, wait in the line? Blind on blind action here, getting back to it. Smiljkovic versus Kaverman. Not much in the middle, only 150K. They did check it all the way down to the river, and Smiljkovic is coming with a bet here. He does have that, or those pair of nines. That pair of nine. And Kaverman's just got ace high, but he's thinking it over here. Does elect to give it up, and Smiljkovic takes this one down. I wonder how long Smiljkovic has been in Vegas.
Right.
Like, he came for the WPT World Championship Festival in December. Then he stayed through the holidays. Stayed to play the PGT Last Chance, which he had a lot of success there and got into the top 40 of the leaderboard, right? Played the PGT Championship, won it for 500K. Now he played some of the kickoff events. Then there was like a week off or so between kickoff and PokerGO Cup. Now he's here for the PokerGO Cup. They might kick him out of the country soon.
I was gonna say maybe he's just staying here because he knows he can't come back for a while. Action folds to Kaverman in the small blind, raising it up, or at least just calling for the call here. Two bad queens again going head to head. This time it's Kaverman and Who. 9-8-4 rainbow on the flop. Everyone very deliberate at this final table. No one's given up any chips for free.
Thank you, producer Aiden.
No chips in the middle here as the guys are still taking it really slow, street by street. Kaverman with queen high, probably thinking he has to bluff at this, but the good old queen 6 is good enough to get the win.
Yeah, if he does bet here, it's one of those bluffing with the best hand. Not that he would get called necessarily, but check, check, and
Kicker,
Anthony,
please.
who's looking at it like,
Yep.
you know, your 6 is gonna play.
Tilting. Yeah, just. Yeah, please. Yep.
If you have queen 5, yes.
Yeah, he does.
It's one of those. Just turn it over and let the dealer read it for you. You know.
When I play Omaha, that's what I do. I just show my cards.
Can you just tell me what I have? Especially in Omaha high-low, you
Oh
see
my
players
God.
do it all the time. Just turn, just turn your hand over, because
I've seen players that have played Omaha high-low for decades still have no idea. They just flip their cards, and they hope that someone sees it. By the way, if you're just tuning in, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Here's a look at the chips in play. We've got those blue 5Ks, the purple 25Ks, and those bumblebees, the 100Ks.
Send 50.
Yeah.
Lots of folding for now, as Kaverman and Smiljkovic are by far the most dominant players at this final table. Kaverman up 1.1 million since the start of play. Smiljkovic up 1 million since the start of play. All the rest are down chips.
No.
Yummy pip toys.
Easy. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Blinds are up, actually.
Yeah.
here we take a look at the current leaderboard presented by Octopi Poker. Check them out over at octopipoker.ai. Byron Kaverman up on top. He's got almost 3.5 million, 69 big blinds in his stack. Daniel Smiljkovic second. Mike Watson, Anthony Hu, and then Dylan Weisman is down there in 5th place.
That's all.
A little over 800K for Weisman. Shout out RMX Indiana, Russell. See you guys, our moderators in the YouTube chat. Appreciate you as always. We are now playing 30,000, 60,000. Of course, 60,000 big blind ante as well. Chip leader Kaverman here coming in. Looks like a $120 from him with the ace jack off. Action folds over to Mike Watson in the big blind. He's got 10-6 off.
5 more, Byron.
Makes the call. Heads up to a flop. 8-4 deuce, 2 clubs. Watson checks and Kaverman comes with 110,000 here. Into the muck it goes for Mike Watson, and the chip leader, Byron Kaverman, increases his stack.
If you meant to raise bigger, you won the maximum.
Meant to make it 140.
Yeah. You got yourself an extra 60.
I was confused. I was like, why did you do that? Like, why change? I don't know.
Kaverman under the gun here. He's got king jack off.
$140.
140 is the raise. And everyone folds. No one wants to battle with Mr. Kaverman here. This is the event number 2 final table here at the 2024 PokerGO Cup. PokerGO Cup, of course, part of the PokerGO Tour. For all things PokerGO Tour, highly encourage everyone to check out pgt.com. We got news, we got the schedule, we got the leaderboard all going on. Also, live reporting from all the events. You can check out live reporting for event number 3 that's running right now. It's another $10,000 buy-in event here at the PokerGO Cup. These players here, 5 remain. Original field was 89 entries, and they're playing for more than $240,000 up top for the winner.
$10. 140.
Watson's turn here to come in with the raise to 140. Remco showing me up, got his own coffee.
Damn. I went to the back, Donnie, and they had the Nespresso machine going, and I was like, guys, let me get in here. Let me get one first.
190.
I got the Luongo, whatever that's called. Lungo. I don't even know. It probably means long. I feel like these guys need a shot of caffeine too. Have you ever had that where you had too much caffeine?
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure.
It's like, it's the worst feeling, honestly.
It doesn't happen to me so much now because I think I'm just desensitized to it all. But, but yeah.
I remember that I used to drink cold brews all the time, and I always wondered why I felt so weird after drinking a cold brew. And then I found out it has like 400 milligrams of caffeine. And
What is it? Which one's that? Sorry?
Cold brew. I can't do it anymore. I've
400 milligrams?
Yeah, I think so. I'm retired from cold brew.
I definitely do try and limit my caffeine intake these days. You know, I don't go too crazy. But yeah.
It's 120.
Well, it's not the cold brew, it's the other one.
Nitro cold brew?
Nitro.
Yeah, the nitro cold brew, yeah. Smiljkovic here coming in on the button. King 8 off to 120K. Kaverman looks like he's got some aspirations to play a bigger pot here. Might be a good opportunity for him to 3-bet. There it is. I believe he said 450. Anthony Who's out of the way. Smiljkovic also out of the way. Kaverman's played awesome.
Right.
You know, and we kind of talked about it at the start because he's been someone who, you know, he came up in the ranks and he was playing some of the highest buy-in tournaments around the world, but then, you know, had a kid or two and, you know, taking some more time away from like being out there playing every single day, so we haven't seen him as much, but certainly, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the way it looks right now, he's still got it.
I mean, I spoke to Kaverman before the final table started, and I asked him, like, how do you stay at a top level? And I was sort of referring to the fact that he's been gone for a while, and he literally said, you know, never stop studying, because, you know, that's the name of the game. You got to stay on top of your game. You got to keep studying, and clearly is paying off for him.
Raise to 120.
People study poker? That's a thing?
10 seconds.
Smiljkovic comes in for 120. Anthony who? Jack 9 of spades.
Fine.
Tosses him into the muck. By the way, let us know in the chat what kind of beverage you're enjoying, as Donnie and I are both sipping on some coffee. Dylan Weisman doesn't need that caffeine to get excited here because he finds pocket aces in the big blind. And look at this. Some clever play here, just makes the call. Deuce 5-9 on flop, 2 hearts. Weisman also with the backdoor hearts. He has twice the size of the pot remaining in his stack. Action on Smiljkovic, who has backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight, but still not a whole lot to get excited about.
All in.
Whoa! What is this? Smiljkovic with the aggression and a bit of a misstep here, Donnie.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely walked right into it here. Weisman willing to take a chance here, just calling out of the big blind with those 2 aces, you know, being on the pretty short side here, starting the hand with 13 big blinds. And kind of, you know, increase the risk a little bit that, you know, you get out flopped or whatnot, but you do keep all those hands that don't connect, you know, a lot of hands that you dominate, you know, I don't know, the ace 6s of the world, ace 7, stuff like that, right? So it's all in there for Smiljkovic, and at least right now it looks like Weisman's going to get a double up.
Yeah, Wiseman in prime position here to double up and become a real contender. Ace on the turn gives him a set.
Clear the board.
But it's not the card he wanted because Smiljkovic now with 7 outs to make a flush.
Do it.
What a dramatic card. Talk about a
There's
sweat.
a spicy one.
River card, here it comes.
All right, that works.
7 of
615.
clubs. Safe for Dylan Weisman.
15 total.
And he rakes in a huge double up.
Literally the juiciest card in the deck. Ace of diamonds.
Jack of diamonds, 10 of diamonds.
No, those are too juicy.
Yeah.
Like, it can't hurt me too badly.
This Weisman double up all of a sudden brings the bottom of that field very close together as we once again look at Weisman's reaction when he wanted nothing on the river. But yeah, Smiljkovic 27 bigs, Weisman 26, Anthony Hu on 23. So anyone's game really at the bottom, but just look at the dominance of Byron Kaverman sitting on 4.2 million chips as Weisman coming off his biggest career year with 1.1 million in earnings. I'm going to say he's going to win even more this year.
Not too bold of a prediction.
I mean, they're showing the stat, you know, and I'm like, I need to make sure that Dylan knows that I believe in him. to do better.
1.550.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I like 1.4 something.
Okay.
10 seconds. Raise to 120.
Who on the button here? 120K is the raise. Weisman's got an ace 3 in the small blind, fresh off that double up, but that one's going in the muck. Watson's hand probably in the muck too. Yep, there it is.
Double, I'll take it. Double.
Yep. Trap pocket aces. I had pocket aces. Traps with them. That's good.
Kind of in an interesting dynamic developing with the leaderboard here where it's kind of Byron Kaverman and then everyone else.
You're right.
I mean, there's only 10 big blinds separating Mike Watson in second and Dylan Weisman in fifth. And then Byron Kaverman has double what Mike Watson has in second place. So would expect Kaverman to, you know, kind of stay aggressive here in general and just try and widen that gap. And then it's kind of just a, you know, the rest of the group is just going to be jockeying for position so that they're not next one out, everyone kind of trying to get into that top 3 and then go from there, of course.
Yeah, and this gives Kaverman a chance to really pressure everyone almost equally, Donnie. No one is really the shortest. Everyone is sort of in that, I guess, in that zone where you get squeezed.
Yeah, no, of course. Walk there for Smiljkovic. No one finding anything they wanted to go to battle with.
Byron Kaverman remains on top. Do you want to be on top too? Well, first of all, you got to look the part. Take your game to the next level with official PokerGO merch. Shop right now at shop.pokergo.com. You see it on the screen. High stakes poker, no gamble, no future. The PokerGO brands. And let me tell you, super comfy stuff all around. Donnie, I'm the type of guy at home that I don't wear jeans when I'm home. Or if I know that I'm not leaving the house, I'm not going to wear jeans. And same goes for things like hoodies and sweatshirts and T-shirts. My rotation basically consists of all PokerGO merch. That's all I wear in the house. I have 3 pairs of sweatpants that I rotate between, and then I have a whole array of PokerGO merch that I wear at home.
I would say that I'm the same, but my wife steals all my hoodies and sweatshirts from PokerGO. So
Nice.
I feel like sometimes she puts one on, and I'm like, I don't even know I had that. Like, where did that even come from?
10 seconds.
Watson on the button here, comes with the raise. Ace-7 off. Kaverman's going to defend this 4-3 suited.
It changed.
Yep. That's exactly what I started with.
This is going to be a fun one. Ace
Supposed to be
6-5. Kaverman's open-ended
happy to be
straight
here.
flush here.
Happy to be where I started.
Watson, of course, has that top pair of aces. He's also got that 7 working, for some backdoor straight possibilities. So
Also, a blocker.
yeah. This one could be fun.
Got to take all you can get.
10 seconds. Check.
Oh my God! Straight flush for Byron Kaverman.
We need a siren or something. Like, we need alarm bells. I know these guys aren't gonna go crazy. We need to on the screen, fireworks, confetti. Can we make that happen?
Oh my God! I have never seen this before inside the studio. Kaverman with a straight flush. Now the question is, can he make any money off of this?
250.
250.
Would guess he's getting at least 1 street of value here, unless Mike Watson just goes so far above the rim that I won't even be able to explain it. But Watson's got one of those middling aces where you might not be able to get 3 streets of value, so you can just check back flop, call a turn bet, and go from there.
And of course, Watson doesn't have to assume here that he's drawing dead. Sure, Kaverman could have a flush. He could also have a single heart. River card is the Jack of Diamonds. Great card for Kaverman because this doesn't make that flush even more likely in the eyes of Mike Watson. But still, Donnie, how do you price this? How do you get it right here?
I mean, it's hard. I think you got to try and target a hand exactly like Watson has. Think he's got Ace 8, Ace 7. I mean, you block the Ace 4s and Ace 3s, but there's probably some of those in there as well. Maybe you're also even targeting, a hand like a 6, 6, 7, 6, 8, stuff like that. So last time when he had that, he backed into that flush. He came with, I think it was right around 60% pot on the river. See what he wants to come with here.
10 seconds.
Looks like kind of about the same, a little bit more. So that's about pot, 700.
700,000.
Yep.
Question that Mike Watson is asking himself: what do I beat in this situation? Donnie, can you think of any combos here that Watson has beat other than perhaps a missed flush draw?
I mean,
10 seconds.
he can beat a lot of just pure bluffs. Queen 9. You know, it's just Kaverman knows the only way he can win is bet, right? After it goes check on the flop, so that's the line he's got to take. The 7 could be a tricky one. The 7 being in Watson's hand because, you know, you're blocking Kaverman from having some bluffs that are the 7/8s, the 7/4s of the world, those missed straight draws, right? On the other side of things, you know, you don't have a heart. You're unblocking all the hearts, so that does mean, yes, Kaverman can have some flushes here.
Call.
He does make the call, and he's going to see a straight flush. Smile,
Yeah,
Byron, come on!
He didn't even announce it. You're supposed to say straight flush as you turn over the cards one by one. Having said all that, Byron Kaverman now up to 89 big blinds and in absolute control of this final table. What a display so far. It helps, of course, to be a good player. But it also helps when you make a straight flush. Byron Kaverman, 5.3 million chips. He is up to 48% of all the chips in play. So when you add up the total of the remaining 4 opponents that Kaverman has left, they'll be just shy of tying if they would combine their forces. Back inside the PokerGO studio, my name is Rem Karinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me. Thank you all so much for watching. We're playing down until we get a winner today.
Kaverman is just running away with this thing. Now everyone is below 2 million.
Unbelievable.
You have about 2-1 now. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
10 seconds.
Smiljkovic turned to pick up a real hand here. Pocket jacks. He's going to come in for the raise.
1.6.
You got what?
1.6
1.6.
and 55.
Okay.
10 seconds. That's it.
Anthony who makes the call with ace-9 of diamonds. We're going to see a heads-up flop. Queen, 9, 2 hearts. Donnie, if you're playing ace-9, isn't that kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent flop. I was going to say it could be troublesome here for Anthony Hu.
90.
90,000.
About a quarter pot here from Smiljkovic. Would expect Anthony Hu to continue in some capacity here.
10 seconds.
$260.
Base of 260.
Comes with the check raise. Does Anthony Hu, making it 260. Action now on Smiljkovic.
Why is Hu raising here? What's his thought process here?
You can just raise for some value here and deny some equity against. Oh wow, Smiljkovic just gives it up. Look at that.
Wow. Very surprised to see that.
Jack 9, yeah. Big move.
Better.
Jacks? No.
I did.
I believe
They're as surprised as I am that he
What?
folded that
The
hand.
jack of
I mean,
hearts, too.
I believe it.
especially with the jack of hearts in his hand.
What just happened? Just called it like right
Probably
there
when
on
he
the
has 10 8
spot.
of hearts, you know?
Man's got to
We
read.
will see a queen
We will.
in the stream.
We will.
You will not see a queen on the stream.
Anthony Hu made 3 final tables at last year's PokerGO Cup. He's at his first one of this year, and it's only event number 2, so still has a chance to outdo himself.
Seconds.
130.
Base of 130.
Can't believe you just put those jacks in the muck like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, almost disrespectful to pocket jacks. Pocket jacks are a hand I hold in high esteem.
Well, remember, they're only a premium, not ultra
Yeah,
premium.
they're not ultra premium. That's true. That is true.
Kaverman here attacking on the button, as he should. Dylan Weisman's going to come along with the ace deuce off from the big blind. Weisman is now up in, he's into third place on the leaderboard. Flops top pair here. Kaverman flops bottom pair. Kaverman, of course, in position, and also, of course, with the chip lead, so some pressure could be applied here.
Seconds.
175.
175.
Half pot here from Kaverman. Weisman elects to come along, makes the call. 5 of clubs here on the turn. 700K out there in the middle. Weisman's got about 1.5 pot behind. Kaverman, of course, covers.
Kaverman trying to strike a balance between sort of aggression and dominating these players to also not taking too many risks and give away some of the advantages that he's currently enjoying. River card locks it up for Weisman.
$150.
150.
Weisman going for value, betting 150 here on the river. Do you think that Kaverman with the jack of spades might consider a raise here with the 3 spades out there?
Yeah, it did cross my mind, so I'm wondering if it's crossing his. You know, you are blocking some hands. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think he could, you know. I think he could also call. I think he can also just find the fold. I mean, that looks like the calling face. Not that he likes it, but it looks like the calling face.
No one has ever raised after making that face.
Now we can rule out the raise. He's kind of just shaking his head here, like, what the heck's going on? So anyway, if Weisman here was trying to come with a little bit of value, also come with a bit of a block here to deny some bigger sizings from Kaverman, I think he has achieved at least that second part with the way that Kaverman is now reacting here, right? I mean, Kaverman, if he now comes with the raise, I mean, it's just like, great acting job. Right. Go collect your award. But I don't think that that's coming, so now he's just trying to figure out, you know, what does he have here that if I do put this 150 in that I can beat? I mean,
does make the call. Weisman going to chip up very nicely here as we are still 5-handed. He was short for quite a while here, and now all of a sudden, Dylan Weisman in second place. $33 big blinds for Weisman. Now Mike Watson, the short stack.
Huh?
Very nice one.
16 bigs.
Wholeheartedly. Very nice.
you have, Watts?
A little under $1 million after posting.
Okay.
Tournament summary presented by StormX. 89 entries in this event number 2 at the 2024 PokerGO Cup. We lost David Coleman already today. David Coleman is the current PGT leaderboard frontrunner. And then Morton Klein, you saw him listed there in 7th place. Morton Klein bubbled the live stream final table last night, finishing in 7th place. A little bit over $240,000 up top for the winner in this $10,000 buy-in tournament.
10 seconds.
Anthony Hu here. King 7 of clubs on the button. Min raise to 120.
10 seconds.
Lots of clubs going around here. Weisman on the short end of that one.
360.
Base of 360.
Weisman, big in aggression. This could very well work versus Anthony Hu.
Yeah, change gun.
What I do love about these players is that no stone is left unturned. They always go through all the options here, and while Anthony Hu will likely fold, there's still a chance he does something aggressive, which is always fun, that you can never really know for sure how these players are going to play. Jovan asking in the chat, where is Jamie Gold? Well, we'd all like to know where Jamie Gold is. No idea.
Good question.
Randy, in reference to the Pocket Jacks fold, says Brad Owen would be highly disappointed.
Can't put them jiggities in the muck, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But Smiljkovic was pretty adamant that we're going to see a queen.
Yeah. Maybe we got to call graphics and get them on the phone. Jay says, studio looks awesome. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it. Everyone else in the chat, thank you all so much for watching. All we ask for is that you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, Remco and I were here till like 4 a.m. setting up the studio. I mean, you guys don't even know the work we put in. No, that goes to the crew. Remco and I just show up at about half hour before stream time or whatever the heck it is. Remco was here a bit earlier today to do some interviews, but yeah. Gustavo, this is live for real.
10 seconds.
Kaverman coming in here with a raise. Ace-8. Anthony Hu finds the ace-jack.
360.
Base of 360.
He's going to 3-bet.
360 club.
Yeah.
30 short.
Action back on Kaverman here. Ace-8 of spades. Going up against who has 27 big blinds. Oh, wow. He goes for it all in. Now, Anthony Hu under pressure with still Mike Watson as the short stack. And Anthony Hu lets it go. And Byron Kaverman, once again, with aggression, getting it done. Very, very well played.
Just got 100% 4-bet. Frequency is working really well today.
I think he does have 100% 4-bet.
You have it every time.
Every time he's been 3-bet, and it's been an option
Not
of,
every
I can
time.
just like ramp it up even more with the 4-bet, or I can fold. He's
would've
gone with the
bluffed.
4-bet.
Yeah.
He did it with the
He
kings.
went all in.
He did it with the queen 10
Right?
suited.
Hit the best
He
set.
just did it
That's
there
what
with
I'm
the ace-8. Like, don't mess with Byron Kaverman.
No,
man. Like,
not at all. And also, it just said his last tournament win from late 2022, which means he's probably eager to get into the winner's circle again for the first time in a long time.
10 seconds.
135.
135.
Look at this, Kaverman calling from the big blind with 10-4 of clubs. Seems out of line, perhaps, to the untrained eye, Donnie, but still getting a good pricer to see a flop with a hand like this.
Yeah, probably in Kaverman's position, calling just about every suited hand. Oh, just trip fours, no big deal.
Wow. When it's your day, I guess. Kaverman flops trips, and we still don't know what Anthony Hu's second card is.
Could have the Jack 10 of hearts. Could have 2 10s.
Could have 10-4 of hearts.
Might be hard for him to have 2 10s. Not only did Kaverman have, or does Kaverman have one, but Smiljkovic had the Queen 10 of spades as well. So. King of diamonds on the turn. Kaverman is still best here. Doesn't matter what whose other card is. Could see sometimes who does have King 10 of hearts. Could see him having, you know, Ace 10 as well. Of course, pocket 10's still a possibility. Here comes Byron, 225.
25.
Just feel like he can do no wrong today, Byron Kaverman. Aaron Collins in the chat asking the real questions. Hey, PokerGO, have you guys eaten the nachos at Fontainebleau recently? Well, I feel as though that's been resolved now.
Yeah.
There was a funny photo circulating about a bit of a funny looking plate of nachos.
Who comes with the call here?
And a fourth diamond on the river. If who were to have a diamond, I would
don't
assume.
think he has a diamond.
No, I was going to say I would assume it's the ace of diamonds. But with the ace of diamonds on board, him having a queen of diamonds, very unlikely.
Well, actually, he could have the 10 of diamonds.
That's a good point. Yes.
That's. We did see Smiljkovic had the Queen 10 of spades, right? So the 10 of diamonds is still very live. So it could certainly be the 10 of diamonds.
Check.
Byron Kaverman decides to check. Unless Anthony Hu has a diamond, he's going to lose this hand. Really hoping we get to see his cards, whether it's at showdown or before he mucks them, because this is a very interesting situation here.
I think if he bets here, it's probably the 10 of diamonds. I mean, I think he probably checks back the other ones, even if he's got Queen 10 of hearts, right? Which now gets there with Broadway. I mean, I think he probably checks that back.
He's reaching. 600,000 is the bet.
600,000.
Now, Byron Kaverman.
Studying.
I was going to say, live tells maybe. Anthony Hu pretty stoic. Hard to pick up anything from him. Kaverman, of course, not happy about the way it is developed. What do you do? Do you like flip a coin in your head at this point?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
I got the clock. You can let me go.
your guess is as good as mine. His guess is as good as mine. I mean, I know it's it's a bad run out, right, for Kaverman, but there's also some value that who can have that already had Kaverman smashed. Jack's full,
Right.
for example,
Yep.
you know, stuff like that. Like, he could have just been behind the whole time, and in a way that this river card might save him. Not that he's necessarily thinking about that.
But you are going to end up folding quite a lot of the time here, right?
Yeah, I mean, we saw him get sticky right, against Dylan Weisman, right, with the Jack 8, so maybe he gets sticky again.
Kaverman does make the call. What are we seeing here?
Looks like the 10 of diamonds to me.
Pocket tens for Anthony Hu. Backing into a flush. And that was very much necessary versus the flopped trips of Byron Kaverman. Anthony Hu winning some much needed chips. He is now up to 39 big blinds.
Yep, pretty right.
Byron Kaverman still on top after losing this one, but Anthony Hu is quickly climbing up the ranks. His first live cash dates back to April 2017. His first win was last year here at the PokerGO Cup. 3 final tables last year in the PokerGO Cup, and in total right now, he has $2.2 million in career tournament earnings. Anthony Hu is here to stay. The question today is, can he win his second Cup title?
Dodge the increasing.
Running hot. That one, it was 3 for 4 for me that time, though, so it was a little bit easier.
Oh, you hear that in the background? The cackle? The trademark Negreanu cackle. That means it's probably going well. Hopefully we get to see Daniel Negreanu at the final table tomorrow.
$240.
It's a 240.
Kaverman raising it up again. Ace deuce this time. Anthony Hu is going to make the call. Little blind battle action on our hands here. As Donnie likes to say that King Little is now a big deal in poker. Well, this flop very inviting for some action. Kaverman with Ace Little hitting top pair. Anthony Hu flopping a flush draw. The nut flush draw to be exact. I've seen people go crazy with these kinds of holdings, so let's keep an eye on how this develops. But so far, Donnie, we've seen our fair share of 3-betting and 4-betting before the flop. Have not seen much excitement post-flop, besides the fact that Kaverman made a straight flush. But there has been a lot of tangling and a lot of battling.
Yeah, relatively controlled post-flop. You know, I think all these players are... I mean, other than, you know, Kaverman, you know, everyone's just kind of trying to, again, jockey for position, right? And maneuver themselves as best they can to get into the top 3. You know, top 3 in tournaments is often where the money is, and then, you know, you go from there, right? So Kaverman, of course, you know, being the chip leader and the big chip leader that he is, even though he's taken a couple hits recently, he's probably a little bit more willing to throw some jabs and some bigger blows at times.
Kaverman bet 275. Anthony Hu made the call. Now 5 of diamonds hits on the turn. This gives Hu a straight draw as well. If you're Kaverman, Donnie, are you going to assume that your opponent is going to have a flush draw or some sort of, I guess, pair with draw combination?
Yeah, I mean, he could have a better ace, right? He could have an 8 as well, but if he's got an 8, he's probably got some kind of thing working with it, just because he's got to call pre-flop, right? You know, he's not calling with like an 8-3 pre-flop, likely at least, you know. So maybe he's got like an 8-7, he's got an 8-5, something like that, you know, one of the suited combinations of those holdings that, you know, if it's an 8-7, you know, now it's a pair plus a straight draw. If it's an 8-5, yeah, it makes two pair here. So Kaverman's hand, you know, isn't the most powerful holding, so he's gonna take it conservatively here. Just over $1 million here as both players checked the turn. Jack of spades comes in on the river.
10 seconds. Check.
Kaverman checks, of course, hoping to see a showdown, hoping that his ace is good. If you're who, you know that your king high
Ace.
is likely to lose here. Does check behind, and ace is announced. Kaverman is going to break this one in. Byron Kaverman back to where he was, just shy of 5 million chips right now. 44% of all the chips in play. Mike Watson still just hanging around. Is in need of a double up.
I see 11.
Looks like we're playing one more hand before going on a short break. Blinds will go up to 40,000, 80,000 after the break. Smiljkovic is going to try to rake this one in, raising with pocket fives. Kaverman here, very nice. Picks up nines. Mostly a calling hand or a 3-betting hand here?
300.
I think I'll 3-bet this one and just try and get it in ultimately. Also have to, you know, consider your image, right, and your positioning. Kaverman's the chip leader. He's been aggressive, so Smiljkovic does get away from those fives pretty quickly there, but I like the 3-bet from Kaverman.
Can we get our phones, Alan?
All right, players are going on a short break. We will be back in just about 4 minutes, so it's a very quick one. Get yourself a coffee, maybe some snacks. I'm going to get some popcorn. All right, we'll be back in about 4 minutes. See you in a few.
If you're looking to host and film a poker tournament or just a company gathering, the PokerGO studio located in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip can seamlessly host your event. With its state-of-the-art control room and a tournament area that fits up to 14 poker tables, there's nothing else in the Las Vegas Strip quite like the PokerGO studio. Order up and have the day and night of your life.
Let's shuffle up and deal!
For more information, contact us at events@pokergo.com.
Both online and live.
You talking about Smiljkovic?
No, Coleman. Sorry, David. I was,
Conflation.
The Daniel David Coleman thing has been a problem for me for years. Yeah, David Coleman has been crushing. Daniel Coleman was also crushing. For
yeah,
a
I mean, he was a big one for one drop, $1 million buy-in winner once upon a time.
95.
Rather divisive entity when he declined to give any press or media after that victory. Really polarized the community in terms of whether or not he was supposed to do that, whether or not it was incumbent upon him to be more of an ambassador on a stage such as that.
Suffice to say, the whole Coleman clan has been crushing for a long time.
The Colemen tend to do quite well. As we see Weisman with Jack-9 offsuit, defending against the cutoff open from Kaverman. Queen 8-5, delivering a gut shot straight draw to Dylan.
Not the worst flop for Dylan. Certainly one he'll be continuing on in some capacity.
Lack of a spade problematic, of course, but we await Kaverman, who does have control of the betting, but this is a pretty poor board for King Deuce of clubs, needless to say, so he does come with the check back. Pot stays flat at $250,000, and now that ace, obviously a card that could be represented.
That's a really nice card for Byron because Weisman has to check here, and I think he'll just give up if Kaverman barrels. Kaverman, of course, likely to bet this card as it's a bit better for his range.
The line plenty credible, checking back flop and then firing turn with some sort of ace-X.
You know, they say behind every Cole man is a good Cole woman.
I did actually, yeah.
I didn't know they said that, but now I do, as they also say, bet and take it.
And there it is.
Exhibit A for Byron Kaverman. $18.9 million in career earnings for Byron, by the way.
Mad Dog, another nice hand on the button.
Paul, is there a break after this?
He has
level
a
or next
tough
level?
button.
Okay, thank you.
Very few people I would like to see less in the blinds than these two.
Yeah. Seat draw does certainly have a little something to do with how well we end up performing at a final table, although each one of these guys are well versed in the adjustments necessary depending on caliber of opponent, but also stack depth, ICM. All of this stuff has been well explored by these three. So the 125 played as a flat by the ace-9. Kaverman happily accepts the invitation with queen-10 offsuit, dominated. King-7 deuce board as Watson, very cozy here. Top pair. 4 1/4 in the middle, 2 checks in front of him.
Something tells me this will not be a check back for Mad Dog. When you have 2 players in the pot.
Back to the PokerGO studio. We are at the final table of event number 2 of the 2024 PokerGO Cup. If you want to listen to Alina Jaran, Jesse Sylvia, who were on the broadcast there during the highlights, you can do so on PokerGO.com. Otherwise, you can stay with myself, Rem Korinkama, and Donnie Peters as we are on the call for the duration of this final table for our YouTube feed. Here's a look at the chip counts. Byron Kaverman up top, 5.2 million, 65 big blinds. Dylan Weisman up to second in chips, and we're looking at the Mad Dog, Mike Watson, who is our current short stack. Byron Kaverman, originally from Jennings, Ohio, now living in Florida. The 2015 GPI Player of the Year. This man has seen it all. Has not seen a win here, though. Let's see if he can win this PokerGO Cup event as he takes 47% of all the chips in play to this current level. We're playing 40K, 80K with the 80K big blind ante. Cards back in the air. Shout out to Jason in the chat. He says, we are back. Indeed we are. Thank you for coming back as well. Kaverman, King 4 of hearts. Of course, most hands will be good enough for him to raise with. Watson in the big blind, A7 offsuit. He is our short stack. This might be a hand that he can consider shoving with here. Just sitting on 14 bigs. And he does move all in. We can see that he is well ahead of Kaverman, who probably realized the same thing and tossed his King 4 suited into the muck. Mike Watson chipping up just a little bit. Here's a look at the race for the cup. These, of course, are the standings from yesterday's event number 1. You can find that whole event live stream on our YouTube channel as well.
You need it changed.
You change
no, just, you can change it. You don't want to change it? Doesn't matter.
No. I just wasn't sure who was getting the change.
It just, yeah. I was just going to do it because it wasn't happening. That's all.
That's the fastest I've ever seen anyone eat lunch, Donnie.
Got to get back to the commentary.
Billy Hill in the chat says, great to be with you guys. Billy, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
My mom always said, I hope you don't eat like that when you're out with like girls and your friends. Like, yeah, I do. I ain't got time to sit around and eat. Let's go. Get it in my body and let's go.
How do you eat a slice of pizza? Do you fold it in the center?
Yeah, like, you know.
But do you like flip the floppy part in or not? So you just fold it and then you just
bite it.
Ever use fork and knife?
No.
Sometimes your pizza is like
I think I actually might have used fork and knife a couple times on pizza. And you know exactly where because you've been there. We've been there together. And I did it because I felt like I had to, or I was gonna like be like kicked out of the country. The pizza place on the beach in Monaco.
Oh, in Monaco, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know exactly.
Like
what
you
you're
look
talking
around and like other people are doing it. And I'm like, they're gonna kick me out of this place.
And it's also
they're gonna say, you dumb American, get out of Monaco. Like you can't just be picking up this pizza and shoving it in your mouth. No, fork and knife.
It's also the white tablecloth with like the nice heavy silverware.
Yeah, I'm like I need to like try and fit in here so I don't get kicked out of here because I gotta work, right?
So funny. Oh man, great memories.
That's the only place I think I've ever done that.
Pizza also underwhelming. Well, on the dry side. Not a big fan. Byron Kaverman just winning hands, just raking him in. He is unstoppable. Well, you want to see someone who also was unstoppable? One of these three was absolutely unstoppable as High Stakes Poker returns for a new season in February, the 19th to be exact. The most iconic cash show lives on PokerGO, so don't miss out. Subscribe to PokerGO right now so you can watch that new season of High Stakes Poker coming up in just a few weeks. We've already dropped a few hints left and right. I've already seen some numbers. I've seen some of the pot sizes. It is an absolutely epic season, and I cannot wait to watch it. Smiljkovic here picks up the lines and antes with a shove.
It's impossible to see, but this card is bad. A little like spot there that really catches the light.
Oh, 80? Yeah, it is 80.
Yeah, there you go.
Paul.
Looks like we have a damaged card. We get a medic to the final table to provide some sort of services.
Who's the culprit?
Yeah. Can we check fingernails, please, to make sure that nobody is denting these cards? Mike Watson, 5th on Canada's all-time money list, only behind a few legends of the game. Of course, Negreanu up top. Donnie, I think that Timothy Adams might be the most forgotten high roller player in the world. This man has $38 million in live earnings. Put some respect on the name. These guys, by the way, Greenwood, Watson, Dvorez, and Adams, all coming up in sort of the same generation. But Watson was one of the OGs from Canada to make it big in the U.S. in the post-poker boom wave of new players. Seeing Watson have the success that he's had, Donnie, and he, of course, came many years after Negreanu, makes it only more impressive to think back of how Daniel did it back in the late 90s. Negreanu flew out to Vegas from Toronto to sort of play and run it up, and then he went broke, and he flew back, and he did it a bunch of times. Then he had some success on the East Coast. But he was grinding, playing low-stakes tournaments at a time where, the Canadians weren't a mainstay in these events in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it just goes to show you it can happen to anyone, right? Got to start somewhere. Started from the bottom, now they're here.
Exactly. Just
here
like,
at the PokerGO Cup.
Just like Drizzy Drake said it, Toronto's finest. Kaverman, not a fan of folding, but might have to here in the small blind. There it is. Walk for Anthony Hu. What's the best Drake song, Donnie? You a Drake guy?
I mean, I like his music.
I think Tuscan Leather is my favorite song. I am this is like such a cliche thing to say. I am more of a fan of the older albums. Take Care.
That is a cliche.
That is the most cliche thing ever. It's like saying like, oh yeah,
I like it, but I like the older stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I was into this band before they became commercial.
I liked Byron Kaverman before he was mainstream.
You were into Byron Kaverman.
I was into Sir Watts before he was mainstream.
Yeah, yeah. Before he became Mike Watson, you already, yeah. But now you don't care as much anymore because he's gone mainstream.
That's right.
Were you also into Ace-4 suited before it became mainstream?
I was into any suited ace.
The suited ace has picked up a lot of notoriety as of late, and Kaverman using it to apply some pressure on the blinds. Ooh, Ace-5 suited here for Dylan Weisman. This is one of those eyebrow raisers.
Yeah, I think Weisman's probably going to have to find a fold here, unfortunately. I mean, he's second in chips. You got Watson there with 12 bigs. You got Smiljkovic with 13.
I'm pretty sure it's just a fold. It's a very pretty hand. Very good. Very good hand.
4 to Royal flush.
Straight flush on the bottom. Very pretty hand. I'm pulling up, but like it.
Just tuning in, we're still 5-handed. Mike Watson, the short stack, but Daniel Smiljkovic only about a big blind ahead of him, so it's a tight quarters at the bottom of the count. Kaverman, Queen 9 of hearts, again with a playable hand.
All in.
Moves all in, just applying all that pressure. And Dylan Weisman finds 9s in the small blinds.
Another tricky spot for Weisman here.
My first thought was you don't come to a final table to fold pocket 9s, but then again, there's 2 stacks shorter than you. And at this point, Donnie, that has to be a huge consideration.
I mean, it certainly is. That was definitely within the consideration on the last one when you got the ace-5 suited here. I mean, this one might just be a little bit in the too good enough to fold, but he does make the call.
Wow, Weisman's tournament life on the line here. Pocket 9s, an absolute killer versus Queen 9 of hearts. The question now, can Weisman fade the hearts, fade the straight, fade the queen? Not out of trouble yet. As Kaverman.
Whoa.
Kaverman's stack might get seriously dented here. Kaverman looks a little bit frustrated. But hey, even if he loses this, he still has plenty of chips. Here's the flop. Let's see it. 9, 5, 8, the last 9 in the deck on the flop here right away. Kaverman looking for backdoor hearts, backdoor chop, or otherwise Dylan Weisman will receive a big double up. Turn card. The 7 of hearts. Not only does it give Kaverman the heart outs, it also gives him chop outs.
Some serious chop vibes.
No, just pair the board again. Pair the board.
Kaverman looking for a heart to send Weisman to the rail. This would be a horrible way to go out after flopping a set. River card is the 5 of clubs. The board does pair, and Dylan Weisman with a big double up, and he goes from short stack to chip leader, and now sits on 4 million chips.
1.935.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll break this down.
What a turn of events.
1.935.
Weisman had to fade quite some outs there heading to the river, but he gets it done. And now he sits on 50 big blinds, and Smiljkovic and Watson would have loved to see someone leave the stage, but all eyes are now on them because they are most likely to be the next two players all in. Here's a look at those final table chip counts presented by Octopi Poker. Weisman now on top. Kaverman still comfortable with 42 big blinds. And Donnie, nothing really indicates here that Byron Kaverman is going to slow down, even though he just took a little bit of a hit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he takes, I don't know, 5 miles an hour off the accelerator, you know, but
And scary turns.
he was
for me
aggressive before when he wasn't in the chip lead. I would expect him to be the same type of person.
You're getting some really strong starts.
today. I am. The starts are great. Turns are scary.
Yeah, Dylan Weisman had to sweat them all. He had the aces earlier, had to sweat when the turn, right?
The 25K this year.
There,
having
of
the flush
course,
draw
had to
going
sweat
into
the
the river
turn.
makes my body shake. Just hurts me.
Oh, the PLO.
The PLO one, yeah. Where I just got ripped. So happy to dodge them.
Who finds king, queen off. He has 21 bigs. Is his stack the hardest to play right now, Donnie, at this final table?
Yeah, I mean, not that it's necessarily the hardest. I think he's going to know what to do with it a lot. But he can get handcuffed in some spots, right? Just because Smiljkovic and Watson are, they're not like in like the absolutely most dangerous danger zone possible, but they do have 10 and 11 big blinds in their stack, so who is going to want to maneuver in such a way that he doesn't have a blunder that causes him to fall behind them? Of course, at times he's going to have to play to win too, right? I mean, it's Anthony Hoon. He's going to know what to do.
His name is Anthony Who. He knows what to do.
You are not Drake.
I'm trying, Donnie. I'm trying. My career's not really taken off, but
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder too. Weisman now up 2.5 million since the start of this final table. Kaverman, the only one who is also in the green still, up almost 1 million chips. Who's going to let it go this time? So does Weisman. And Watson. And Smiljkovic.
The flush draw is so.
And Kaverman gets a walk.
The flush draws are
With
just so
7 deuce, no less.
The board
Offsuit.
The worst of the worst.
He's at 40, so
Okay.
just give him.
Yep.
Tournament update. Average stack now 27 big blinds. Getting a little bit closer to shoving territory for the majority of these players. Big pay jumps on the line. It's always crazy how your tournament play can be so deep stacked, and then when it matters, if no one busts out, then slowly but surely the stacks are going to get more shallow. 62,300 guaranteed for the final 5. Next payout above that is 80,100. So $18,000 pay jump between 5th and 4th. That's Kaverman. Moves all in from the small blind, applying that pressure on Anthony who finds King Jack of Diamonds. Now, he's got 24 bigs. This is a horrible spot, Donnie.
Yeah, I know he's not showing it, but like he just got to laugh in your mind. I mean, like. He's got no choice. I mean,
With what hand can you call there, though? How strong does it need to be? Ultra
ace
premium?
queen?
Ace queen suited?
I think he'd probably call ace queen off. I mean, that's just.
There's 2 pay jumps, like sort of waiting for him.
Listen, I know.
1.75 behind.
Thank you.
Anthony Hu in the small blind for deuce of hearts. Gives Weisman a fold. Table dynamic all of a
promise
sudden.
you have me beat.
I'm talking shit.
Table dynamics really
That one's
shifting
pretty confident.
with Weisman taking the chip lead there.
Yeah, it looks like Byron's, you know, maybe he hasn't backed off a ton. I mean, he did just shove there.
4 or 5.
4.
Thank you.
Wiseman graduated from UC Santa Barbara. Financial math and statistics. Donnie,
perfect for
that
poker.
was your #1 draft pick as far as what Weisman was studying, right?
Of course. Perfect for poker.
Super analytical, super sharp, always focused. I still need a tax guy. He probably will have some advice for me. Peanut is asking, do the blinds increase past 40K, 80K? Yes, they do. They keep going up every 40 minutes. Imagine it did.
I hope so.
Yeah, we would be here for like 9 hours.
Well, that's like that new tournament idea that Matt Savage is floating around, where like the average stack is always 50 big blinds, and it goes up when like the average stack is there. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow. Wiseman applies the pressure on Mike Watson.
That's not good.
Poor timing from Wiseman as his king is dominated by the one of Mr. Mad Dog.
I can't double you again.
I just want Mike Watson to win this hand and
For all
start
Dylans
barking
of the
in
world.
honor of his
You have to
nickname.
stop it.
Watson looking to hold up here for a double up, and it's at 3 in the window, and Wiseman takes the lead immediately, and oh, Mike Watson with that that sort of sigh, like why me, why now?
Hasn't been his day at all. Really hasn't.
Came into today as the chip leader. Watson now looking for a jack or backdoor straight cards, and that 10 of diamonds
Classic turn
gives
sweat.
him some
Good
options.
Classic turn sweat.
7
Any
outs
pink
now for
card's
Mike Watson.
I disagree.
Watson looking for a queen or a jack. River
you,
card
Mike?
is the 10
Did you?
of spades, and that'll do it for the Canadian. Mike Watson eliminated in 5th place. It was not his day. Came in as a chip
Classic
leader,
Nolan
now takes
Coleman
home
final table fun.
$62,300. And unfortunately for him, his first win inside the studio will have to wait. And Dylan Wiseman, meanwhile, charging ahead of the field, now up to just shy of 5 million chips. Smiljkovic probably happy to receive this little pay jump. Anthony Hu, maybe a little bit less stressed, a little bit less in the blender, as they like to say. Only one short stack to worry about right now.
Owen. Oh, okay.
Wow, look at this. Wiseman raises enough
Very
to
fair
put
fight.
Smiljkovic all
Very
in,
fair fight.
who is
It
the
is.
only
You
player
snap, that's
in the blinds.
That's the best hand I could see.
Smiljkovic snaps it off with Jack 10 of hearts. And this could really move the tournament along if Wiseman's queen high holds up. Smiljkovic 47% here to double up. This is about as much of a coin flip as you can have. Kaverman with a deep sigh. Maybe a bit of fatigue setting in here as the flop brings out ace
Little
7
clarified.
king.
Strong.
Wow.
Strong flop.
We almost are running out of screen space
Pair the board?
to show these outs
That's
here.
fair. Pairing the board's fair.
Smiljkovic looking for a heart, a queen,
Just don't
a
get me
jack,
fair.
or a 10. Turn card is the 3 of diamonds. Somehow not a card that helps Smiljkovic. He now still looking for one of those 17 outs. still on the turn. It is 60-40, so Smiljkovic still with a good chance to double up, but he needs the hit. Can he find something on the river? It is the jack of spades, and that suits him quite well.
8-1-5.
8-1-5.
Smiljkovic with the double up. we were a card away from Weisman having this thing on lockdown. Now Smiljkovic and Hu tied at the bottom of the counts. Kaverman sort of caught in the middle, as it is Dylan Weisman who is in control here. Fading 17 outs is impossible in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're the guy with 17 outs, then it never comes usually, right? I mean, that's how it is.
Absolutely. Weisman involved in every hand as of late. Let's see if he raises again here with Jack-8. He lets it go.
All in.
And Smiljkovic with ducks, quick to shove.
I got 80.
Lets it go. Play continues.
You're like 1.8 now, right?
With 4 players.
Yeah, a little bit more. Okay.
A tiny bit more.
Yeah, thank you.
Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Let us know who you're rooting for as well. As we have Smiljkovic again here with some aggression, raising the button. Smiljkovic again with a little win here, separating himself from Anthony Hu, who is now our short stack. Smiljkovic, of course, gains notoriety and a bunch of cash when he took down the PGD Championship just a few weeks ago, right here at this same table, inside this same studio.
I believe.
Yep. Might be 1.5, but that's okay.
$240.
All in.
Oh, look at this. Weisman fighting back versus Anthony, who's going to get even shorter after letting this one go.
Me? Oh, no.
Oh, right. You're right.
couple of 9s here for Anthony Hu. He's on the button.
16 bigs. Does shoving look weaker? Is there a sense in limping? What are we feeling here?
I think you can just raise, call off versus any shove. You know, raise, play a flop, of course. Smiljkovic elects to make the call from the big blind. King deuce off for him. King 8-4. Smiljkovic out flopping Anthony Hu's pair of 9s. Top pair for Smiljkovic.
It's so unfair. You're short. Looking for some help. You get the guy defending with the king deuce. And that's, of course, the one card that appears on the flop.
Check call from Smiljkovic, who bet 100K there. Ace of diamonds on the turn. See what Anthony Hu wants to do here.
I mean, ace, of course, doesn't help his case in the slightest. Or do you think that he can turn his hand into a bluff here?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he considers that possibility exactly. You know, turning his hand into a bluff, figuring that ace might connect with him a little bit more as the pre-flop raiser than it does with Smiljkovic, and he's going to do just that. Look at that, good recognition here from Hu, and you know now it's going to be a pretty decent test here for Smiljkovic. You know, he of course has that pair of kings, but he's got no kicker, right, to go with it. So
yeah, it's got to look strong with Hu being on the short stack, but still. Oh, was that pump fake? Oh, he's going to make the
he's
call.
trying to call.
Yeah.
Somehow he's trying to call.
Smiljkovic with the call. River card is the queen of clubs. Anthony Hu has received overcards to his pair of 9s on flop, turn, and river.
I mean, does Hu have it in him? Does he have that third barrel in him here?
King.
Does not.
Oh, checks behind, and he's going to see the bad news. King deuce is going to make his day even more complex. As Anthony Hu now down to 835K. That is basically 10 big blinds. Anthony Hu down to the bottom of the counts. But if you want to learn how to dig back out of that hole, maybe Octopi Poker can be some help here. OctopiPoker.ai, your path to poker mastery. Join Octopi's growing community and explore together. It's free for a limited time only at OctopiPoker.ai. Cool thing is, they are using our videos to give you analysis and insights into the players that you are watching. So you get the data, you get the charts, and a whole bunch more. So go check them out, OctopiPoker.ai. Donnie, how do you like that I lead into those little ad breaks?
I like them a lot. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm a freestyler.
Scan them.
I just freestyle.
Okay.
170. 170.
Weisman, king 7 off, raising it up.
Three bet here from Smiljkovic. 650K. Kaverman's got a couple 4s here in the big blind. These 4s are into the muck. Back over to Weisman. Also gives it up, and that 3-bet gets through.
Well done.
From the 2023 PGT Championship winner, Daniel Smiljkovic.
Smiljkovic really evening the playing field here. Weisman's chip lead not that intimidating anymore. Anthony Hu all by his lonesome at the bottom of the counts.
All in.
Kaverman shoving on Anthony Hu has him outpipped by 1.
It's going to be close for Anthony Hu here. I mean,
$675.
Yeah, Anthony Hu not really enjoying the spot that he is in, but is going to live to fight another day. Kaverman, deep run in the 2013 World Series Poker main event, finished in 34th place. I believe that was the Ryan Reese year?
I think so.
Or was that 2012? No, Merson is 2012. Reese, 2013. Jacobson, 2014. Blumstein, 2015. Quewin, 2017. Hossein Ensan, 2018? Am I forgetting
No,
someone?
he was 19.
19?
You skipped 16.
16. Well, pretty
Remember
good.
that Joe McKeon's year?
Joe McKeon. That's a name I haven't thought about in a while. Joe would do well in these events.
He would. He very much would. I agree.
680.
Here comes Anthony Hu from the small blind. He's going to get this one through. Dylan Weisman puts that 6-5 off into the muck.
Set the cards.
And you knew I did. A little bit I will.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, there it is. Chad is correcting me. McKeon was 2015, and Quewin was 2016.
Close enough.
Yeah, it was close enough.
I'm sure they all Googled it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fair.
I should ask them, without Googling,
160.
to name the 5 main event winners before Moneymaker. Without Googling, let me know in the chat. The 5 main event winners before Moneymaker. Kaverman here, 160. Anthony Hu. King, Queen suited, that must be a shove at this point.
550.
After this level, I gotta go up there to color
I have 285 behind.
Okay.
Kaverman right on that edge, Donnie, of being able to justify this.
Yeah, I think so.
He lets it go, and Anthony Hu rakes this one in. Anthony Hu, originally from Plymouth, Minnesota.
Yeah, on the bus.
Hard to dodge four-handed.
He said before that he's played over 1 million hands of poker. Do you think you've played 1 million hands of poker?
Yes.
I have not.
But I'm like 14 years older than Anthony Hu. Buddy, I played 1 million hands of poker before Anthony Hu was even allowed to play poker.
Right. I mean, Dylan Weisman has been playing since he was 16 years old.
How many hands of poker has Dylan Weisman played?
Oh. He could probably tell you exactly. He probably is keeping score. And he probably remembers every single one of them.
170.
This is hand 1,893,786 for Dylan Weisman.
He's probably played way more.
How many hands are we playing? So
3.
2 more.
It'll be
Two
your
more.
button.
2 more.
This is the second one.
Let us know in the chat if you have any idea of how many hands you've played in your life. Well, how many, like, what, 20 hands an hour playing live?
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to think how many hands of live poker I've played. It's probably a shockingly low number. Like, in relation to grinding like one Sunday. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Kaverman might just elect a shove here. King 7 off.
All in.
There it is. Oh, Anthony Hu, okay.
King, queen off. I mean, that's sort of what you're hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to call.
Yeah, there it is. Anthony Hu makes the call, risking his tournament life, but he is in a great situation here to double up. And once again, Byron Kaverman, after chipping up nicely, now risking a fair portion of his chips here. If he loses this, he's going to be shorter than Anthony Hu. He's going to be our short stack, actually.
Kaverman needs to stop getting the money and dominate it. Every time he gets his money, he's dominated.
Here's the flop. Queen, 9-8. Great flop for Anthony Hu. Kaverman down to running cards to send Hu to the rail. This final table is anyone's game here if Anthony Hu finds a win. And the 5 on the turn makes it so that Kaverman still has 4 outs. A 6
it really
would
isn't.
give him a
Never
straight.
easy.
It hurts the body. Can't let you live.
Anthony Hu with a bit of a smile.
Nice.
And a 6 on the
There it
river
is.
will send him to the
Good game,
rail.
Anthony.
That sucks.
Wow. Disaster on the river. I was not even expecting this at all. I was already counting it a little bit. Maybe I jinxed him. Anthony Hu eliminated. Wow. $80,100 heading in Anthony Hu's way. But boy, oh boy. He was a card away from a big double up. And wow, indeed. Anthony Hu eliminated in 4th place. And Byron Kaverman gets away with one. Rakes in the chips, and Kaverman now back in the chip lead on 4.3 million. GG in the chat, please, for Anthony Hu. That was a tough blow. Chat is running wild with all sorts of emotions.
I should be at 4.1.
Okay. I think we were about the same.
Okay.
Do you go by Dan or Daniel? I never asked. Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat.
I like it. I like it. 2.5-ish?
2.6.
Dan or Daniel or whatever, he is our short stack. 27 big blinds for Mr. Smiljkovic. Weisman and Kaverman virtually tied here for the lead. Here's a look at their chip rounds presented by Octopi Poker. Go check them out, octopipoker.ai. We got some free access right now, so you don't want to miss that.
If you're looking to host and film a poker tournament or just a company gathering, the PokerGO studio located in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip can seamlessly host your event. With its state-of-the-art control room and a tournament area that fits up to 14 poker tables, there's nothing else in the Las Vegas Strip quite like the PokerGO studio. Order up and have the day and night of your life.
Let's shuffle up and deal!
For more information, contact us at events@pokergo.com.
Welcome back inside the studio. We are three-handed, battling it out for the title, the money, the points. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. Aline Najad and Jesse Sylvia are on the call on PokerGO.com. If you want to go check them out, please head there right now. Here's a look at our final three contestants at this final table. Smiljkovic, the reigning PGT Championship winner. Byron Kaverman, bracelet winner, former player of the year, and all-round crusher. And Dylan Weisman coming off a very, very strong showing to start off the year. And Weisman looking to take this one home and charge up the leaderboard again. All right, give David Coleman a run for his money. Players getting seated again as the blinds will go up. 50K, 100K now. We've gotten rid of those blue chips, so just the purple and the yellows in play.
4.2. That is fun.
This is going to be fun.
Shout out to Enrique in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. We got Chris here. We got Joseph watching. Devin is here. Robert. What's up, everyone? How's it going today? Beautiful Saturday here. Lovely, sunny in Las Vegas. It is pretty warm outside for the time of year. Three-handed play, always my favorite stage of the tournament.
275.
So much pressure to be applied, so much up for grabs. And Weisman makes it 275. Smiljkovic, as always, not someone to waste time. Moves all in with ace-9 off and gets it done. There it is, a look at the structure for those interested in what's still to come. 75K, 150, 100, 200, 125K, 250K. Don't think we'll make it that far, but you never know. The levels are in place to keep the pace of play reasonable.
I wonder what the highest level is that we've reached on the PokerGO tour.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Statsman Tim should know that.
200,000.
Someone needs to do that for us. Can we request that? Can we make that happen? I want to know.
Also, the longest final table, the most hands played at the final table. Currently, we're on hand 71 as Weisman raises to 200K. Action on Smiljkovic, ace-6 of diamonds in the big blind. Kaverman to 3 deuce. Tosses him into the muck. Action back on Weisman.
10 seconds.
Smiljkovic, Donnie, having shown so much aggression, can you see a flop in position with Queen Jack? And I guess that's what Weisman is going to do here.
70.
Yeah, I think you can. At this point, I think the players are deep enough, you know.
That's it.
Look at this flop. Queen, Jack, 10. That's what you call with Queen Jack. 2 pair for Weisman. Diamond in the center of the flop there. That is what Smiljkovic's eyes will focus on.
350.
Smiljkovic bets 350. Donnie, 2 pair. Is it safe enough to just take it slow here?
I think against Smiljkovic specifically, I think taking it slow is fine. I think also raising it is fine too. I mean, but without the flush draw out there, I think you could just call here. I mean, I kind of think back to, was it Leon Sturm's comments? He made a comment to Arden Cho about Smiljkovic saying, you just got to give old Daniel some rope, right? I mean, it was at the PGT Championship final table last season, because Smiljkovic is aggressive and he comes with it, I mean, and if he comes with it here, it could be for all of it.
10 seconds.
Looks like he's coming again. What's that, 5 or 6? Looks like 6.
600,000.
Quarter pot here on the turn.
Donnie, how much of a concern is that 10 for Weisman?
Call.
Medium, maybe. I mean, I think he's still leaning towards being more confident about his hand than he isn't. And if he was worried about it at all, a queen on the river is just what the doctor ordered. I mean,
yeah, right when I was starting to be concerned for Dylan Weisman, the queen hits on the river. And now for Smiljkovic, Donnie, on a double-paired board, is he considering trying to do anything funky here? I guess the answer is no, but still.
Yeah, I think you just shut it down if you're Smiljkovic. You just hope to go check, and maybe you chop with another ace high type of thing. But yeah.
All in.
All in.
Dylan Weisman moves all in. And Smiljkovic quick with the fold. This is going to take a large chunk out of the German stack. Smiljkovic now down to 13 bigs. Kaverman also probably very happy to see this. Dylan Weisman comfortably in the lead here. And let's look at the lead of David Coleman right now. 2 wins, 4 cashes, 590 points. Dylan Weisman is going to add a lot to that total, but it'll only be just enough to close the gap here, because look at that drop-off after Foxen. Really fun to see some of these players already being front runners. And Donnie, it must be very motivating to get off to a good start, to play more events, to qualify for that $1 million free roll.
Definitely has to be very motivating. I will quickly point out that top of the leaderboard there, David Coleman doesn't include his finish from today yet, so he's actually up to 635 points. But Dylan Weisman is in a very good position here to cut into that lead of David Coleman. And then what's great about Dylan Weisman, not only is it awesome for him to get off to such a good start to start the season, but we haven't even gotten into the PLO stuff, which is his bread and butter, right? Yep. So the PLO series coming up, if we end up running back Super High Rollerball PLO, of course, we tend to incorporate a lot of the events at the World Series of Poker, and there's, of course, a lot of PLO events during the World Series of Poker. Again, bread and butter for Dylan Weisman, so you could certainly see him, not only make this early surge to the top of the PGT leaderboard, but kind of stay there throughout the whole season.
Kaverman betting 200K here, open-ended straight draw. Weisman with backdoor diamonds. Kaverman gets it done with a bet of 200K. Smiljkovic back to the drawing board, sitting on 13 bigs. Kaverman, by the way, 49th on poker's all-time money list, just shy of 19 million. One of those players that is going to be talked about in years to come for perhaps ultimately a spot in the Poker Hall of Fame.
1 second.
1.2 total, right? Thank you. 2. You always hold a chip. $250.
It's 250.
Weisman 250 with Queen Deuce. Smiljkovic in the big blind. Queen 10. He's going to make the call. 8-3-3. Nothing there for Smiljkovic. Can only imagine that Weisman with a stab potentially able to take this one down. And there it is, a stab from Weisman and a fold from Smiljkovic, who is now down to below $1 million. Danger zone for the German. Weisman just in control right now. And it's funny, Kaverman got off to a really, really hot start, was winning pots left and right, dominating this final table. Ever since he doubled up Dylan Weisman, have not seen him do anything. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting, and good on him because there's no pressure on his stack right now. Weisman up to 14 hands won at this final table. He's won 4 of the last 10 hands. A walk here for Kaverman, understandable, as Smiljkovic finds only 3 deuce offsuit. Smiljkovic happy to let Kaverman and Weisman battle for this one.
10 seconds. Oh. Seconds.
350.
Wow, Weisman just keeps applying the pressure. This guy is just feeling it right now. Kaverman, hands a little tied perhaps because of the short stack of Smiljkovic.
10 seconds.
Haas is asking in the chat, how can we participate in this tournament? Well, you show up at the PokerGO studio, cash in hand, or you can always send a wire. And that's it. Anyone can play. Anyone can play in these events. Buy-in is 10K. Donnie, we got some bigger buy-ins on tap as well.
Yeah, a couple more 10Ks happening here at the PokerGO Cup. There is one happening right now in the outer area of the room. We're watching the final table, but the studio is full with players playing event number 3. That's a $10,000 buy-in no limit hold'em event. After event number 3, 2 more $10,000 buy-in no limit hold'em tournaments here at the PokerGO Cup, and then we get into what you just talked about, the bigger buy-ins. We have 2 15Ks, and then the final event is that $25,000 finale. So a lot of big money up for grabs. Of course, a lot of PGT leaderboard points as well. We will have the day off tomorrow. Sundays are off on the PokerGO tour for the most part. I mean, I don't really like it either, but hey, we don't make the rules.
Good cards?
We just live by them. So we'll be off tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Monday. But once we're back Monday, we go from what, Monday through Saturday? Yeah, so 6 days in a row, all working towards crowning the 2024 PokerGO Cup champion.
George, thanks for the love in the chat. Very much appreciated. Jose says, left when Smiljkovic folded to jacks, and he's still here. Gotta give him props. Hey, if you want to say one thing about Smiljkovic, you have to say that this guy plays to win. Like, he plays with an aggressive style that'll sometimes get him into trouble, but more often than not, it's going to award him the pot without showdown. Weisman, 200K with Jack 9.
10 seconds.
$800.
800,000.
Oh, look at this. Byron Kaverman fighting back after Smiljkovic laid down his King 8. Kaverman getting a little frisky here with 6-5 offsuit, perhaps getting sick and tired of Dylan Weisman running the show. Kaverman gets it done, keeps his stack in the same place. By the way, if you're enjoying our content, please smash that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's try to see if we can get this thing to 400 likes before we get to heads up play. How about that? If you hear my voice, move your finger to that like button and smash it. Don't drop your phone. Just smash it. Queen 10 here for Kaverman. Great hand, three-handed. It's going to raise it up. Feels like Weisman doesn't want to let anyone win anything.
That's it.
Why would you? I mean, it's not how poker's meant to be played. Limped pot here. Jack 3 deuce on the flop. Weisman does hit a pair of deuces.
Okay.
Kaverman going to come along here, check calling 150,000 from Weisman. Weisman's got bottom pair. Kaverman, well, he was wrapped around that jack with 3 to a straight. Now pair of 3s on board, so Weisman has 2 pair.
For those curious about the payouts in this event, you can find them in the description of the video. Also, shout out to our moderator, RMX Indiana, for providing the payout update in the chat. Kaverman left with a bunch of nothing here, but he is reaching. Just going to make the call here. Interesting, just queen high, Donnie.
Yeah, I wonder if he has aspirations to do a bit more here, or I wonder if he just thinks, you know, there's going to be a fair amount of time that queen has going to be good, so I'll just call flop and turn. Now, I mean, Rivers. Yeah. I was going to say, I wouldn't be sure if he'd be able to call another bullet here, but Weisman just going to check it behind.
$200.
200,000.
825.
825.
Look at this. Smiljkovic gets to increase his stack by a sizable portion here. That was worth quite a bit for him. Oh yeah, bring me those tunes. Absolutely love it here as we look back at our eliminations from earlier today. David Coleman, our BGT leaderboard leader, was the first to go. Mike Watson had a disastrous day, coming in as the chip leader, but busting in fifth for 62,000. And Anthony Hu with an absolute horror card on the river after flopping a set. Byron Kaverman rivering a straight, sending him to the rail. And now we are three-handed. Daniel Smiljkovic, our short stack, sitting on just 11 big blinds. He needs some help to get back into this match.
10 seconds.
All in.
All in.
Kaverman with the jam. Donnie, stuff like this could really backfire.
I mean, it can, yeah, but it's also calculated, you know. I mean, he knows that Weisman is probably unlikely to have an ultra premium Remco.
Ultra premium, yeah, okay.
or even a premium there. You know, the king and the queen are blocking some of those premium / ultra premiums as well. I want a shirt that says ultra premium on it.
Right.
That's what I want.
Ultra premium poker.
That's right.
That's a good brand.
That's right.
I would buy that.
I also want a shirt that says I'm the chip man.
The chip man.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that from?
You said chip man at one point, either yesterday or today.
Oh, chip man?
You meant to say chip leader, but
Yeah.
you said chip man.
Hey, chip
so
man.
now I want the shirt. I'm the chip man. Just show up at the WSOP. I'm the chip man.
I'm the chip man. Look at me. I'm the chip man now. The captain meme actually works really good for that. Very good. Kaverman here, limping in from the small blind. Weisman with a real premium.
350.
I'd say maybe even an ultra premium for three-handed play. A7 of diamonds. 8-6 suited. Kaverman perhaps considering something here. Takes some time. Stays in character, as I'd like to say.
I don't think he's ever broken character.
No,
a
but
couple times on the
right.
river. On the river.
Yeah,
faced
like
with bets. But that's it.
if your decision is made and it doesn't come back to your opponent, then sometimes you break character and you relax the face a little bit. And in this case, Kaverman comes along out of position. 800K in the middle. He's got that gut shot. Got some backdoor clubs going for him.
250.
250.
Weisman going a bit smaller, betting 250.
I don't think Kaverman's going to go anywhere here. You can see him check calling. Certainly I can see him check raising with some frequency here. He's going to take the first approach. He's going to check call, 250.
Donnie Kwaka in the chat says, that's definitely a semi-ultra premium.
Semi-ultra premium. Jeez, now, I mean, Way too different. Way like too many categories of classification.
No,
now.
we need more. Every hand needs its own category. Super, mega, ultra premium pocket aces. Dare I say? Kaverman checks again on the turn. Now, let's see if Weisman wants to continue firing here. Of course, the fact that Smiljkovic is short is going to give Weisman more chances to take this pot away. Kaverman would really need to have a super strong hand to do anything with.
$800,000.
Oh, there we go. 800,000 is the bet from Dylan Weisman, and Kaverman gives it up. Weisman extends his chip lead, and he's putting on a real clinic here. I am very impressed with the play of Dylan Weisman, sitting on 6.6 million, 60% of the chips in play. Kaverman with the toss, not Steve O'Dwyer approved, but I guess if the hand ends, it's not that big a deal. Steve O'Dwyer is the chairman of the.
He might do pretty well in these events too.
Yeah, I miss Steve O'Dwyer. I wish he would come out and play. Yeah, he's he's adamantly against people folding their cards but throwing them through the air. He's ranted
But
about
if it's
this.
the end of a hand, I mean,
yeah,
it's
kind
a
of
little bit different. But yeah.
But still, caught a glimpse there of the club. Kaverman here with a super mega ultra premium three-handed play. Ace queen of hearts.
I believe that. You do it. You're very efficient. Very efficient.
200,000.
200,000 put
Byron,
out there
can I see
as
your
casually as possible to not raise any suspicion here. 10-9 diamonds, Donnie. That's
Weisman might just shove this.
yeah. I was gonna say.
I mean, it's effectively.
Oh, wow.
It's
He
effectively
moves all
33
in.
big blinds, and Smiljkovic is short. I mean, I think Kaverman's gonna call, but it's like
baby.
one of those. Are you serious?
Kaverman not happy, but he makes the call. And Smiljkovic, the happiest guy in town right now, because look at this showdown. It is 60-40. Kaverman is the favorite. But, Donnie, you can't hate on 10-9 of diamonds. That hand has so much potential.
Oh, tons of equity here for Weisman. I mean, Kaverman hates to see the 10-9 of diamonds.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he'd rather just have, like the king-queen, stuff like that. But 10-9, plenty live here for sure.
Wow.
You guys can see the percentages on the screen. 38%. That's a lot.
All right, let's see the flop here. Wow!
Okay.
Jack 8-7. Dylan Weisman says okay, and that is because he flopped the straight.
Last time. That's right.
Runner is coming. The sweat.
What's
Oh
the
my
sweat?
God.
What
Queen?
sweat?
No, no queen.
The chop?
King.
The king? I
King's
mean,
fair.
that is insane.
Not even
This
one
last
heart
final
out
table I
there.
had, I literally was just flopping people dead too. It's wild.
Flopping him dead. 10 on the
damn.
turn does give Kaverman
That's
some
wild.
outs.
If you do it again, that's pretty sick. I'll let you
Kaverman
top it, but not allowed
has
to
done
win.
it before. He drilled a 6 to hit it straight against Anthony Hu. Now he needs a king or a 9.
Yeah, okay.
Can he find it to stay
Oh, I
alive?
can't. You're right. Oh, he has a 9.
Thanks for
yeah. Low
clarifying.
card. Low card. Give him a pair.
River card
Again.
is the deuce of hearts.
Unlucky.
Byron
Very good.
Kaverman
It's
eliminated
really
in
well.
third place. And what a miserable way to go out. As Daniel Smiljkovic has just 9 big blinds, he receives a nice little pay jump and a bunch of extra points as Kaverman takes home $111,250. Smiljkovic guaranteed $155,750, and we are now playing for that
This is
first place
wild.
prize of $240,000. Wow.
What a way to go out. I mean,
Huh?
That was crazy.
Kaverman probably feeling a little bit sick in his stomach there, because
I mean, look at that stack. Absolutely wild stuff here at the final table. What started out as a bit of a slow one has turned into quite a battle. A losing battle, that is, for almost everyone except your name being Dylan Weisman. Weisman sitting on over 10 million chips. Smiljkovic needs a bunch of double ups, and they need to come fast, or otherwise he'll get eaten alive by the man currently in charge. Donnie, what do you think? Does Smiljkovic have any chance, or is Weisman just running too hot?
Not if he's just flopping jack high straights with the 10-9. I mean, good luck. I mean, of course you can turn it around, but I mean, this is the steepest uphill battle we've seen in quite some time. So.
Wait. Sun run is so real. It's wild.
The sun run is real for Dylan Weisman. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Call.
Oh, call.
Oh,
here we go.
Well, I guess one hand maybe? I don't know.
Quick one.
Might be.
That is wild.
At least I'm not dominated.
Smiljkovic leading.
I'm known for quick heads up. It's usually 1 or 2 hands.
That's good.
Yeah, it is.
Then we can play that one.
That's what I want to.
Both players want to get into the next event, event number 3. Underway right now. Daniel Negreanu in the mix. Smiljkovic here, looking for his first of many necessary double-ups with King 3. All right, here comes the flop. Ace, 5, 7, 2 clubs.
Seems about
Weisman
right.
with the flush draw.
That's what happened last time. Same thing as
reverse.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm going to hit a pair on the river.
This guy is just unreal. Smiljkovic in the lead, but has to fade 15 outs twice. That's basically like your opponent having 30 outs. Turn card, Jack of Hearts.
I'm just going to make a pair.
Smiljkovic is...
Yeah, pair of 5.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely, yes.
Smiljkovic still in the lead here with King High. River card incoming. Can Weisman close it out right here? River card.
Wow.
Is the 5 of spades.
9-2-5?
9-2-5.
And Smiljkovic finds a way to double up.
Could be the start of that comeback you just talked about.
You won up to me. I asked for a pair, you gave me a pair. That was sharp. I'm gonna learn. You taught me a lesson today. That was too sharp.
Finger guns from Smiljkovic as that 5 on the river kept his tournament hopes and dreams alive.
We got to edit in some smoke.
Yeah,
for sure. Now it's getting
post
more
edit,
fun.
you know?
For sure have to do
Confirmed.
that. 1.850.
Okay, thank you.
Smiljkovic on just shy of 2 million. Basically 20 bigs. That is a very workable stack in heads-up play.
Oh.
10-4 of spades. Weisman hoping to see a flop. Smiljkovic obliges and checks behind. King 8 deuce rainbow on this flop. Not a whole lot for either player. A quick bet and a fold, and the action moves on. If you're Smiljkovic, Donnie, you're just happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. I think he's always happy to be there. Wherever there or here is, Smiljkovic just seems like a happy guy.
All in.
All in.
9-8 offsuit. Smiljkovic moves all in. And a snap call with ace jack of spades. Dylan Weisman again finds the goods.
8-9 offsuit.
Taking his second stab here to see if he can end his
Very
tournament.
important.
This time he's ahead. Smiljkovic looking for a 9 or an 8. Spades no good. Clubs could come into play. After this hand, if Smiljkovic wins, he would still not be the chip leader. That's how big the lead is of Dylan Weisman. And the flop brings out king, queen, queen.
King, king.
Queen, queen.
No, no. King, king.
Smiljkovic rooting for a chop. Running kings would
Pair the
make
board.
this a chop. You could also just try to win it with a 9 or an 8.
No, that gives you an out.
Weisman in a great situation here. 3 of spades on the turn. Nothing changes. Smiljkovic needs a 9 or an 8, or else this event is over. Dylan Weisman, 1 card away from winning this whole thing. River card.
Good.
It is the 10 of hearts,
playing with you.
and Dylan Weisman goes from short stack to champion as he takes down event number 2 at the 2024 PokerGO Cup. Shout out to his fiancee, Emily.
Sun run is ridiculous.
As he wins $240,300 and 240 points in the race for the PGT leaderboard. Smiljkovic runner-up, but also collecting a good amount of points to get back into that $1 million free roll at the end of the year.
I need Tim has to give me the trophy he took back. Can you go find him?
Dylan Weisman eager to collect another trophy as he once again showed us all how it is done. Here's a look at our final results presented by Octopi Poker. Weisman on top, taking home $240K. At the very bottom, David Coleman, $44,500. He remains in the lead on the PGT leaderboard. Check that out on pg.com/leaderboard. All right, there it is. One more look at Dylan Weisman with that gold trophy as he now also takes the lead in the race for the big silver cup that is sitting on our set, waiting for its owner at the end of this 8-event series. 5th live win for Dylan Weisman as he gets a kiss from his fiancée to celebrate. Shout out to everyone watching, everyone engaging. On your way out the door, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're back on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific for the final table of event number 3. Follow along with live reporting on pgt.com, and until then, we'll see you on Monday. For now, have a good night.